What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another Idea Studio live stream. I'm Dana.
I'm Jip.
Today is Saturday, the 15th of May? Of May here in Bangkok, the Big Mango. And we're just hanging here in the live stream, having a good time, hanging in the studio. And there's a few things to update on. So we've got a lot to go through today, and also we got some cool things coming up tomorrow, and we talk about the rain video that you saw yesterday. Real quick, I see Emazaki in the chat. Emazaki and Bodo, what's going on? I see Jeff. What's going on, Jeff? How you doing, man? So today there'll be a big announcement that the restrictions will be changing for lockdown in Bangkok.
No lockdown.
No,
it's not lockdown.
The non-lockdown restrictions will be changing in Bangkok. So, Jib, what do we anticipate for the changes?
So, from what I read yesterday, it's quite similar from previous restriction, but they will allow people to eat in a restaurant 25% of capacity. So it's like a table of 4, only one person sit.
Oh, okay.
It's about.
Okay, not bad.
And the other thing, maybe, I'm not sure, but like schools still cannot. But if they really need like a kind of, like Thai school, some school, like you have to get the exam to get in, like a high score can get in. So if they need that for next semester, like coming semester, they're allowed to like have that day.
Nice. Real quick, I see Steve in the chat. What's going on, Steve? Oh, big news. Patrick says, hey, from Pattaya. Hey, Patrick, you made it to Thailand.
Oh.
Are you an ASQ or are you out free on the streets, roaming the beaches of Pattaya? Jeff Malone, what's going on, Jeff? He says 25% indoor eating is better than nothing. That's true. And it means less tables, not one person at a table. No, less tables, 25% seating capacity.
So it's like if you say your place is 10, so you can have like what, 4?
Yeah, about no 2.5.
2.5.
2.5.
3.
Yeah, you rounding up or you rounding down. But I mean, it allows the restaurants to open up and do something. We got, and which is good for them. Again, I won't be eating at a restaurant anytime soon, but I'll still get takeaway, and I'm glad they can open for people who want to. That's great.
So like it's difficult to go out in a day. Like if I have to go many places, I'm like I go out late morning. If I cannot eat in a restaurant, where can I eat? Like get food and go where?
Yeah. Well, we got takeaway the other day. We brought it home, but
but that's late lunch, like 3 p.m. lunch.
It was a late day. But no, absolutely. I agree that it's good that it's open, right? Again, we work from home anyway, so if we're out, then usually I'm taking food back or I'm getting the night market. It's kind of like the same for me, but not everyone has that option, so it is good that some people can stop in and eat. At Paula, though, they had the table set up outside, so you could like just grab a couple slices, eat right there. Hey, Pascal, how's it going? Good evening. Where are you at, Pascal, again? You in Florida, is that right? Patrick, day 2 ASQ, first test 30 minutes ago. Nice. How's your nose feeling? All broken in after the first test?
Do you feel it here?
Jib had it. She's like, I feel it in the back of my head.
Yeah, it's like, oh my God, I hurt here.
So, Patrick, how's your... so day 2, I know it's still kind of, you're probably still a big blur after travel and everything, but how's the ASQ compared to what you thought it would be? Nice place. How's the food? Like any updates or any insights? Token says my wife scheduled appointments for her mom and dad to get the vaccine. Nice.
Yeah.
And said that the hospitals were telling patients that they would receive Moderna, but give them Sinovac when they showed up. Ooh.
Well, I think Moderna just like approved from Thai FDA just like few days, like yesterday or 2 days ago. So I think it might take time to like really like imported here.
Mm.
Maybe it will be like a June that you can pay for that Moderna. But Moderna is like option that you pay in the private hospital, not a free shot from government.
Yeah. Oh, so actually, Patrick, real quick too, do you have 7-day or are you on 14-day? Because I believe it was if you had your certificate in May 1st, by May 1st for travel, they still allowed you to get 7-day. So I'm curious as to how many days you have, 7 or 14. Also, Token, did your wife schedule the test through the app for the vaccine? New York hardcore. Oh yeah, how many tests required? What's going on, Todd? Pascal's Canadian. That's right, Pascal Canadian. Miss Jib, I saw your fingers on Twitter. That's not human, young lady. So
No.
So wait, don't do anything yet. Don't do anything, guys. You see, like my hand. If I stretch my fingers back, I can get like a little bit of tilt on my hand. I want Jib to show you her fingers.
Am I?
Yeah. Oh God.
No touch.
They just bend at the knuckle.
It's like, let's say it's from primary school. We have to learn like a Thai performance, like Thai dancing. So it's like, yeah, we know how to do this and this.
Yeah.
And if you see like a real performers, like their finger will bend almost all the way. Like when they do this is like not good. Teacher will like bend it more. So like it will go like this way.
So I don't know if you guys are familiar with what's called the Kon performance. Kon performance. It's a classic telling of this Buddhist story of Hanuman, Param, right? Like all these guys, the giant. I've been 3 times to see the National Kon performance, and it's beautiful. If you live in Thailand or you're here while they're doing it, I highly recommend going to see it because it is amazing. And when we have the chance, we always go. But I've been to the National Theater 3 times. But we've seen other ones as well. The dancers, the performers do this type of dance where you could hear my fingers just cracked as I bent it. But they do this dance, and I always thought they must have like some type of prosthetic on their glove or something that makes the hands look like it can bend more than it does. The first time I saw it at the National Theater, afterwards the people in costume will wait out in the lobby and you can take photos and everything, like how like they would do at a play. And one of them did a photo. I saw them do it with a lady where he puts his hands up. It was a guy, or at least it was a Hanuman character. I assume it was a guy playing Hanuman because he was jacked too.
No girl will wear Hanuman dress.
And when he bent his hands back, this is a dude, his fingers went almost 90 degrees. It made me shudder.
So like for these performers, they have to practice when they were young, like young, like primary school age. And since then, they keep stretch their fingers and arms and legs. So like you have ballet, right? Ballerina, you see like that move like superhuman. So also Kon. But we train the hand too, not just legs.
Yeah, I mean it's
it's like the way they train is like this, and you have to bend it back. Oh, my hand's like hard now.
So that's Jib bending her hand back. Here's mine. It doesn't
Don't break
move.
your fingers.
I think it was
in my right hand.
John commented in the photo that it would take a blowtorch and a hammer to get his fingers like that. I think mine too.
No, you maybe you try like a soak in like warm water to relax your finger a bit and try.
So Patrick says his food sucks, but internet's blazing fast. Nice. I'm dying to get some Gang Pet Guy. From the lady I usually go to. Hopefully soon, man. Hopefully soon. Did he say how many days?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, hold your hand up.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't even. So just to get the pinky, I can't even get my pinky to go. All right.
Nina, do like this.
Look, I want to skip some comments because Patrick said I got my certificate of entry before the 1st, but arrived after the 6th. My quarantine was originally 7, but changed to 14. Free tests. Oh, at least you're here, man. The upside is at least you are here.
You're here.
Yeah. Asked my doctor yesterday about if I should take a vaccine, having blood clots. He mentioned Moderna or Pfizer. He shook his head when I mentioned Chinese vaccine. I would take it. I would take the Chinese vaccine. I don't have like any underlying health issues I think are gonna mess with me, but you do have blood clot issues.
Like
so,
if you have like a serious underlying disease, you should consult your doctor.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Listen to your doctor.
Like here, like Thai too. Like if like have like heart disease or whatever disease, like cancer, like they talk to their doctor before they make appointment for vaccine.
Says you need to monetize that type of flexibility.
What?
I don't think
no.
She's not going to the cone performance. Actually, the school she was at her teacher knew a bunch of cone teachers.
Yeah.
You'll never lay a finger on my butterfinger, Mr. Bond. How many people are trying to bend their fingers like that, right? I know. So what happened was I saw this on TikTok. Some girl, she could take her hand and go like this and then like that, and her fingers would be bunched up like that. So I screen capped it and I sent it to Jib, and I was like, "This is crazy."
I can do just this. I cannot bend the ring finger. I can do just this by not touch, and then I have to bend this.
Yeah.
And then this one.
Jeff was too.
I was.
Everyone was trying to bend their fingers like that after I posted.
Can anyone do that?
Yeah, those are mine, Patrick. Those are my. Those are actually my Idea Studio shoes from the 10K video that's coming up. So you'll see, like, I have a picture of those shoes or some video about those shoes in the 10K steps video that I did. So like those are a pair of shoes that I designed the graphic on specifically for 10,000 steps. But yeah, I went out the other day, and I have a bad habit of not putting my shoes away. And as you can tell, I am the only one who has that habit. Just face.
I have to train him many years before he fold his blanket.
I like whatchamacallit bars too. Yeah. Whatchamacallits are damn good. I do the sit and reach, right? That's what it was called, with the wooden box, and you had to lock your legs out and sit and touch.
Oh, I cannot.
I think I could go I could do enough to pass, but I was never like so flexible like I could reach out and touch the other end. Like I could barely get my fingertips like with like a lunging stretch that I could get like to the minimum passing amount for that test. But
so lately I saw like a photographer video. I think his name is Jordan. He's like take photo of acrobatic and ballerina in US.
Okay.
It's like his test is like 15 minutes to 10 minutes. Like to take other acts. Like, wow, all those bodies. It's like, wow. Yeah. I would like to do it. Maybe I'm too old for that to train.
I had a friend who was a ballerina.
I want like my acid on my head.
Look like non-earth.
Yeah. That I want that.
So you guys, I know a lot of you guys who come over to Bangkok Strange saw non-earth. He does Mike shirts. He's a friend of ours. He does yoga. He's incredibly flexible.
He got a yoga instructor, the certificate. He got that too. Yeah, I want to do at least like he's flexible.
And he'll post like some crazy flexible shots, like stuff. I'm like, is that even human? But he also weighs like 20 kilos. Let's be fair.
45, I think.
Yeah, I don't think he weighs 45. If he weighs 45 kilos, I'd be surprised.
45. He still need bones.
Yeah, 45 kilos with a jacket on, soaking wet with water, maybe 45.
No. 45 should be like, he's taller than me.
Yeah, but he's like as skinny as my fingers.
He has a bone.
Maybe.
That's a weight.
But based on some of the flexibility I've seen,
I was 48. But I have fat.
And jacked.
Huh? No.
Hey, Bosho, how's it going? But that's all Hike can do is
what is that?
Dirty minded. I used to make it. Jib's face. How much weight did Jib gain eating all those sweets? So far,
It's about 1 kg.
Really, 1 kg?
Yeah.
And so I doubt it's that much.
Because I didn't go out.
Yeah, true. We've been
Just like you walk in a house.
pretty isolated.
Yeah.
There's still a bunch more boxes of candy left. I know a bunch of people have sent more stuff too. So Jib's got her work cut out for her. So yeah, the sit and reach, you have it in Thai schools. An old Thai girlfriend tried to teach me how to squat. Wasn't happening. So do you have the sit and reach in like physical education in Thai school? It's like a box and it has like lines on it. You have to sit in.
I think in school, not really, but we have a class like or what you call like physical
education.
Yeah, so it's changed every year, and like some years about like they say gymnastic, but it's not really real gymnastic. So like teacher will teach you to stretch, but it's just like very beginner. Like okay, touch. You stand and you reach to the ground, like a knee straight.
Okay,
like
so this
type.
is like that type of stretch where you do it sitting and there's like a box in front of you that you put your feet against.
For the box, I don't think every school has it.
Yeah.
But some school has. I think I did one in university.
Yeah.
It's like almost not passed.
Yeah, when we had it in elementary school, it was rough for me. I have a friend who could. One of the kids who I went to elementary school, one of the guys could actually reach all the way and touch the other end, which was like mind-boggling.
I can touch the other end. It's like which is the same as like my toe, right?
He could reach past where his toes
like
would be. Yeah.
Some of my friends, like they can like far away, like about a hand.
Yeah.
Like further than the toe.
Yeah, the physical education in Thailand schools is pretty weak.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not
so, like,
fantastic. But I mean, then again, it's not fantastic in America
they just
either.
Teach like okay, what this sport call and then what the rules. So we know the rules. Like okay, soccer, badminton, tennis, table tennis, gymnastic, a little bit, badminton. What else? Like many. And then
in America, we just play dodgeball.
We just like we know the rules. And then we practice a little bit, and like teacher not gonna go hard to you. It's like it should be like relaxed class that kid have fun.
Yeah.
So like we run, we fall sometimes. It's okay, that type. And like if any kid like show like they have talent, teacher might recommend to the parents like your kid should go.
And they
like,
snatch you up and send you to sports school in Isan.
Like a extra class, like for the weekend, just go like other private gym, train something.
They send you to the sport academy in Isan and you become like a little.
No, we have sport academy everywhere. Like normally it's like every province will have it. So like kids in that province, if they're good for like sport, teacher will like, okay, you go apply to that school and train, and then when they grow up, they compete for their own province.
I don't know if you guys have ever seen.
And then they will reach to the national level.
Have you ever seen in the Olympics, Thai women dominate in weightlifting? And so I feel like every Thai weightlifter looks like she's straight out of Ubon Ratchathani, like short, stout with like a super flat face. And they all lift like stupid amounts of weight.
Like their body type with the height,
short and thick.
So it's like it's perfect. Like if they're tall, they need more muscle, right? So there's like in a higher weight, so they have to go compete with a higher weight class, which is like for Caucasian, they tend to have like more like a thicker bone, which is they can carry more weight, which is. For Asians, like not gonna be the like a heavyweight, It's
like the lighter weight women's classes. Thailand dominates, but I thought it was.
I think
China does well too when they don't get popped for steroids. But I was at Central World one time, and there was a girl who won. I don't know if she won silver or gold in the Olympics for Thailand, but weightlifting, and she was there like as a spokesperson for something. It was like a big event of like sporting stuff on the ground level of Central World, and This girl couldn't have been more than 5 feet tall, but she was just ripped. She was just like all jacked and yoked up. And of course she was wearing her medal. She was at like a little demo thing. But yeah, I was just like, God damn, like this is, and she might have been like 30, right? But again, like tough to tell because Asian women could be anywhere from 18 to 60, right? So you can't judge by looks. Yeah. But this girl was just like, her arms were huge. Her legs, like from her waist down, was just like thick muscle, just like jacked. And she was wearing like the Thai team zip up top. So it could be like could look like a dude, you know, just like, you know, kind of funny though. But yeah, like just like straight out of Isan, like flat face, like super tan. Oh, Patrick says the pressure and temperature of the bum gun is on point. Having a quality bum gun is a life-changing experience. It's I use my downstairs bathroom more than anything simply because the bum gun pressure is like triple the upstairs bathroom. And the upstairs bathroom bum gun pressure is great, but downstairs is, and you also get that hot water because we have a metal tank. So you use it like midday. It's like bath water spraying against your bum. It's fantastic. Chips like
you don't have to explain.
It's like pressure washing my lower GI tract. Hike asks, when do I think Thailand will open up more? Open up to the outside world to make it easier to come here? Maybe next year. I doubt we'll see a big relaxing of international travel restrictions this year, Hike. Not likely.
I think it's depend on like how fast they can vaccinate people here.
And we're in Q2 and we're having this huge third wave.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
So like
if I was a government health official, I would not feel comfortable.
Yeah, but like now, like the province that in a bad situation is like Bangkok and
Chiang Mai.
No, Chiang Mai is not.
No?
So they can control now. So like less number, like just 2 digit, but Bangkok is like a lot.
Thousands.
So it's like Bangkok and the province around Bangkok, very red zone. So the rest of the country look better except us. So maybe all those provinces can be like
the sandbox
released.
could happen,
yeah,
right? If
maybe.
Phuket
So
gets
like
their vaccination game
especially
together.
for Ireland, you know, they might like let it happen first.
Yeah, so yeah, the sandbox could happen, assuming everything normalizes in Phuket and their vaccine rollout hits the numbers they want. Thanks for the rain. Yeah, so that walk and talk in the rain, that was amazing to film because it was so powerful. The thunder was just like this rolling thunder.
Wait until the real rainy season.
It's not even rainy season yet. So like I'll have let's see, I went out in my overalls, my overall shorts, which was definitely a mistake because they must have weighed like 40 pounds when I walked back. I think
people will look at you like, oh, what a crazy Varang walk in the rain. Like Thai will run away from it, like wait in 7-Eleven until it's like rain, not like pouring. But you keep walking, keep talking.
Out there with my GoPro. Getting good footage in the rain.
Maybe when it's real raining season, I will send you to the area that is gonna flood when you walk.
That could, so here's the thing. Certain types of flooding you definitely have to avoid. So there was a time when Jib and I lived in Pachani Wet that Pachani Wet, one of my favorite neighborhoods to live in, guys. If you don't mind to be away from the BTS a bit because it's complicated to get to. This is a gorgeous neighborhood, beautiful tree-lined streets, decent footpath.
Safe.
Yeah, safe. Quiet, great night market there. One of the best night markets I've ever experienced in Bangkok. Tops in our condo.
Nicer high-end market.
Sports facility.
Oh yeah, sport complex.
Yeah, sport complex was great.
Nice.
40 baht a year to join the sports complex. 40 baht a year.
Yeah.
To have access to the weight room, the running track, the basketball courts, the
you have
volleyball
to have
court.
your photo and write the paper for them. That's all.
40 baht a year membership. It's fantastic. But so great neighborhood. But one time, Prachani went Nung, the main road, flooded between a bridge over the Klong, the local Klong, and where it elevated to go up to where we live. So there was like a meter of water at one point in that section, and there was like just like oil slicks and like shiny spots in the water. And what happened was some asshole like covered the drainage with like plywood or something, one of them got clogged, and so it just backed up real quick. And there were guys walking around in like t-shirts and like shorts trying to pull up and unclog all the drainage. And I was just watching them walk in this water. I was like, oh yes, you have hepatitis now. And Jib was like, yeah, don't go near that water. Hike likes table tennis. I used to play table tennis in a club when I lived in Rhode Island. I think it was called the Rhode Island Table Tennis Club in Lincoln.
And even he played in a club before.
And Jib could beat me every time.
Beat me.
I can't beat Jib at any racket sport. Maybe tennis. I would. Yeah,
you can beat me at tennis because I cannot hold a racket with just one hand.
But like we played badminton. Obviously, badminton. I had no business playing badminton with Jib and her friends. Like they're all ultra competitive people who played at university, and I think you said one of them played like not pro level but almost pro level.
No, none of them pro.
No, not pro, almost pro. Like one of the guys who was there with us that time at the court.
I think none of my friends in that group like go to like a really like real competition level.
I thought you said one of them did, and then here's the other thing. Apparently at Thai gyms, don't shower naked, don't walk around naked.
If you here don't do that.
Because everyone was like,
yeah,
big white dude just naked. Thick. Yeah, the Isan powerlifted chicks are thick. Pascal said, I did that flexibility test as an adult. I think I was the only person ever to get a negative distance.
What negative
the tester kept asking me to begin. Like not get to your feet.
Oh, if you do it when you add out, it's like it's normal that you cannot reach if you're not like
if you don't maintain your flexibility.
Yes.
Actually, so our jiu-jitsu coach Adam, he practiced working on his flexibility like this was like a couple of years ago to try to get to the point where he could do splits, and he actually did in like 4 weeks. Was able to go from nothing to being able to do splits, and really improve his hip flexibility. And
I got a book for him.
Yeah, I have the book. It's just like time, right? So it's not the book that he used. We got it's this old like Japanese lady on the front of the book, and she's like literally doing a split belly down on the ground, like completely bent over. But like it's not. I read the whole book, and it's just a progression, right? So it's not complicated. You just need to you need a wall open so you can put your legs against and let your legs spread out. And because it's basically just sitting against the wall and letting your legs like kind of fall in and spending like 20 minutes a day working on these stretches. But I mean, he did it. He said when he started doing it, it was really crappy. Like it was hard on his hips. Like everything felt like it was going to break. And by week 2, he felt really good. And by week 4, he was doing a split. And then it was just maintaining it. Like if he skipped a day after that, he said he was done. Like it was skip one day, you set back 5. But if you keep it up, I mean,
it's
it
discipline,
work. Yeah.
which is we don't have.
Yeah, definitely not for that. Not for stretching.
We just have discipline for craft, but not for exercise.
For work, yeah. For exercise, like, maybe not so much. Hey Frank, what's going on, man? Hey Frank, we're gonna start with the movie candy next week. I think. Go to the movie candy that you sent. I think we might have to give Jib the milk duds first. My ASQ had a Japanese bidet toilet with a heated seat and oddly aggressive pressure for the size of the articulated sprayer. It was glorious. Yeah, I would love like if they had like a little like remote controls, almost like an N64 with that little toggle joystick on top. When you get that little articulating head, and you're just like, yeah, definitely more rain videos to come, Lady Green. More rain videos for sure. We have a whole rainy season, so tropical rain is definitely in the future.
You should go to Tonglaw and wait until it's flat.
Yeah.
Stand there.
Maybe no, maybe not wait in the flood. I keep waiting for things to open up and just said, screw it, I'll do the quarantine. I'm like, yeah, to you, exactly. You know, if you want to get away too, like, I mean, it's really, once you're here, like once you're out of quarantine, man, I mean, like if you guys know Patty Doyle, his channel, he's going down to all these amazing beaches right now with no one on them. Right. So he's like, you know, Mike, my buddy Mike was going to like Koh Phangan and it was empty. Koh Phangan. Phangan.
No.
But I mean, like all these like famous beaches, Maya Bay, empty, like no boats even going to look at it, right? So like usually, like you can't go to Maya Bay anymore; it's closed. But you can pull up near it, and they have like an area you can't get out into the water, but they pull up near it, and it's just empty. You can actually see it completely empty. I mean, like, so you're here at a time that you can see things that are just amazing and empty, and you have it to yourself and it's private. So, I mean, for that, I would almost say that the ASQ is worth it. When is it? Oh, you're talking about the 50K through Bangkok? Hopefully soon. I want to do it this month, but it might actually get pushed to next. The guy who's going to be my second cameraman and like helping me out with shooting myself at some of the locations and doing B-roll. It'll probably help me with the edit as well. He's got a tweaked back at the moment, so
still not good.
Yeah, he's like still kind of recovering. It's just like luckily it's just muscular. He thought he had some other issues as well, but it's just a muscular thing.
How
so
can you walk his dog?
Yeah, well, luckily they have a yard, so he can let Han out.
Okay.
Because that's what, remember they moved to that Mubon a few years ago.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, once he's like good, he tells me he's good to go. We'll hit it in 50 kilometers straight through the city, and that'll be a monster edit. Actually, I got to get some footage with Suburban Beard we're gonna do like a few more things for the 10K for a month, and that's essentially done. And I just got to get the edit ready, and I've got the script written for the first part to voiceover. But yeah, there's the 50K through Bangkok. The route is planned, all the stops are planned, like all the little collaboration points along the way are planned, and so it's just getting my guy, waiting for him to be ready and good to go, and then hitting the road one morning at 4 a.m. and getting out there and
hit the road. That must be hurt.
slightly touch the road. Mike, what's up, man? How's the D? I played U.S. champion in college and scored 2 points. Wow, hey.
What is that?
In badminton, I guess, or table tennis. 2 points is 2 points, man. I once tapped out a champion jiu-jitsu black belt, world champion black belt jiu-jitsu player. And one time out of like 100 that I rolled with them, I got one tap. That's fine. For me, I beat them one time. That's good enough.
That's like a kind of like a lifetime
achievement
memory.
award. Yeah. Like I said, over like probably a course of like 4 weeks.
I have that type of experience too. When I play badminton for my faculty.
Yeah.
It's just like only our university. So every faculty will compete each other on every sport. So I play badminton for my science, faculty of science. So my opponent, she was like a second for Thai national
nice
badminton player. It's like, huh? Who? So when I see her the other side of the court, it's like, what is that?
Did you get a point?
I got 1 point. Oh my God. It's just like 1 point from 2 games, that's enough for me. And I got it because the birdie flip after like I smash it hard, it just hit the net, almost not pass, and it flipped and fall in front of her, like just her side. So that's why I got that score.
Point's a point.
If not, she will give me zero.
Like I said,
Like no mercy, which is I understand. She's a national level. Why she give me like girl from nowhere? Like point is like no.
Listen,
Oh
I
my
tapped
God.
out a heavyweight world champion jiu-jitsu player one time.
What name?
Gabe Gonzaga. It's long before jiu-jitsu is back in the 90s.
Oh,
So I caught him one time on jiu-jitsu, and like that was enough. He used to train in Massachusetts, and that's how I would go out there. One of my friends trained there.
How is he now?
He ended up going out to fight in the UFC.
What?
Yeah. He was already world champion. So
Did he do well?
he did okay in the UFC. He was never champion, but he did okay.
Okay.
Yeah, his iconic knockout over Crow Cobb. So Lady Green asked, do you do Muay Thai? No, neither. I used to train Muay Thai, and I used to be a professional MMA fighter a long time ago.
Did you train Muay Thai
Yeah.
before? How can you kick?
Low kick. That's what's nice about Muay Thai. Kick to the leg.
No, you need like kick to the head.
No, I can't do those.
I can do, but you cannot.
Cannot. But can kick leg, which is in knee, which is important.
Yeah.
But yeah, we did so I've done Muay Thai, and I've done it here in Thailand. And actually right before these restrictions, I was planning to start doing Krabi Krabang. I had called up one of the gyms from Unda to talk to them about it. And like I was about to start, and then like all gyms had to close. So hopefully, I don't think they'll open gyms with this next relaxing of restrictions, but when they do, I will be back to hopefully training some Krabi Krabang, which is a Thai sword.
You know, you will be a big target.
That's fine.
And as you're big, you're not move fast enough to block.
So actually, this is funny. I was telling my friend Kendrick the other day that I remember when I was in Cambodia, it's like 2006, this guy attacked me with a knife. And he like swung down at me, and I like put my arm up to block, and he hit my shirt, and it cut my shirt but didn't cut me. Right? And I think it was this is weird situation. We were just talking about it, and I was thinking like the knife must have been kind of dull to begin with.
Wait, where is the vein? Is it here?
Yeah, I put my arm up like this.
So you have to block it this way, not to get cut by
the block like this.
But why you take it with this? You see
my
vein?
I was an idiot.
You trained in army before.
So
did they train you about like which important part?
Well, it was here that he cut, but it cut my shirt. It didn't cut me.
I know, but
which is like the weirdest. Like it must have been like just enough pressure, and then it must have been dull. It was very, very weird. What's up, Larry? What's up, man? Oh, thank you, man. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Hey, one of my chilies is finally doing good. I'm getting some good growth flower. On one chili.
It has flower.
It has a flower, so I'm getting
flower
out of 50 seeds.
One purple flower.
Out of 50 seeds, I got one flower. I've got another batch of reapers though. I have to plant. I have to sprout them. Patrick, when there's a lot of obstacles to get something, it means reward at the end is absolutely. Absolutely. You know, if it was easy, it's not worth doing, right? So, you know, you got here, you're going to tough out 2 weeks of ASQ, some crappy food. Hopefully you can get some 7-Eleven delivery at least and be good to go. Oh, Micah, table tennis, 2 points.
Tennis.
So Jib and I, when we lived in a building called Golf View out in Ranksit together, they had like 3 or 4 table tennis tables in the common area.
Yeah.
And we would go and play like 2-3 nights a week. And I think I maybe scored a handful of points on Jib over like multiple months that we played like every day. And I don't think I ever beat you in a game, did I?
He's so confident that he
I was so confident I could beat
it's
Jib.
Like, huh?
Jib basically just applied badminton principles to table tennis. And did I win a single game?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe it's like you cannot beat me for the game, but you get some score.
I think I might have got like a set, but not like a whole game. But yeah, Jib became really good really quick. Even like I can do backspin, I can do a bunch of trick shots.
He's taller.
And not enough to beat
longer
Jib.
Range.
So Jib would basically just smash it right down the middle, knowing that I wasn't quick enough to adjust and get it either way. And like 9 times out of 10, it would work.
Well, if we compete for fighting sport, you're gonna beat me for sure. It's, you know,
yeah.
it's like
Oh, Frank said if he could start a day at 4 a.m., he would offer to film. Yeah, that's Frank works some unique hours, so that's definitely not possible.
Aye.
Yeah, it's a 12-hour day cutting through the city. Now, my plan is that my second guy is he's gonna cover me from. He'll basically like meet me at the start point, and then like every point where there's like sort of a train or somewhere that he could easily get to. He doesn't have to follow me the whole time.
One thing, it might be difficult for you because you have to wear masks all the way when you walk, and it's 50 kilometers. I don't think that's healthy.
Well, maybe I can take it off a couple spots that are
No, because regulation now, you cannot take off your mask anywhere.
I might be able to find somewhere with no one around. I can take it off.
And no, it's look not good if you do that.
I might be able to.
No.
Go into a bathroom somewhere and take it off.
Even a bathroom, that's the place
I'm joking.
You get infection.
I'll figure it out. Yeah, like same for him. It was all you get those points. You get those one time that you catch someone or you do something. I mean, it's it's fun. Like I remember the first time I caught a black belt in jiu-jitsu ever when I was like first training, and the first time I ever tapped a black belt, I was like, oh my god, and then
what's the move?
With a rear naked choke, and then they went on.
How can you get his back?
Lucky, it's good. Got this
it's
back
like
in the
he
scramble.
like what? It's like how can I
caught their back in a scramble, and once I had my hooks in, it was just working for the neck. Then of course they went on to dominate me for the next 30 times. But, whatever. That one time is worth it. Once you get to the back, once you get a hook in, especially with heavyweights, most heavyweights.
Why he didn't tuck his chin?
Well, he did. I definitely powered through with my forearm.
Okay.
Craig, what's up, man? How's Cali? Oh, Craig said he coached. Where is it?
What?
I coached a badminton in Kuwait after the war to Royal. Oh, nice. Wow. I bet you they had some nice courts.
Yeah, with AC, I
you
guess.
Call court?
Badminton court?
Yeah.
They must have AC inside, right?
Anyone a gamer? I'm not really. Jim and I
gamer,
Jim's been playing the same game since we met.
It's just like
a mobile game. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really play too many games.
I used to the time when you still play game from CD. We have Star Wars.
I used to play N64 a lot, and then PlayStation. And I probably haven't played many video games since PlayStation 2. It was probably the last time I was like really heavy into gaming.
I never have PlayStation. Just like play game from computer from like a CD. Do actually I used to play the game from like the green screen, like black and green. That time you have to type like a thing, and like it just like looked like a ping pong game. I play with a computer that time.
I remember my first video game I ever had on my computer was the Star Trek 25th anniversary video game, and it came on 5 1/4 floppies. It was like I think it was 12 discs. I had to install it and then wait for it to install. Yeah, good times. Hey, John, what's going on, man? How's things out in the Midwest? Everything's good here. If you wait long enough, maybe mask restrictions will change.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe. Yeah. Well,
maybe until like you get, June we will get like a vaccine.
Well, let's see. Next month, maybe. But let's see. It'll depend on what Drew feels better as well. Drew's going to be until June. I might just wait until I get the shot. But so I'm going to start making spooky Thai YouTube movies when I get there. Everyone else loves a ghost.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So actually, yes.
Become famous if you were like, wow, it's so real. Like,
when
you can sell stuff too.
When I taught a podcasting course at Chula, probably half my students do like ghost story podcasts, like at the end of the semester for their final project. But actually, when we lived in Pachani Wet, we would go to this restaurant, Kawan, and the guy who owned the building also owned the building next door. And there would always be like film production set up. And apparently one of the shows that they filmed in his building was like a ghost story show where like they set up in the office that he had upstairs and would like tell ghost stories, and then they would shoot the other scenes other places. Lady Green says, "Do you play basketball? Like how tall?" I'm only 6'1". I've never really played basketball. I was never good at it. I played rugby, and so I did track in high school. I threw shot put. I played rugby when I was in college as an undergrad, and then weightlifting, and I wrestled. I learned to wrestle when I was in the Army, and then I did like catch wrestling, and that led to like jiu-jitsu, submission tournaments, and MMA. Nothing like I was never very good at basketball or football or anything.
Because of your weight.
I'm too small. Too short for. If you look at how big LeBron James is, right? I'd be a mini person.
You run under his armpit.
Maybe, yeah. Like I heard a game going on in a teen center in Singapore. I played the teacher, then he passed to the oldest student, and the next oldest, and so on. Finally, I scored a point on the 5-year-old. Yeah, right. Racket sports in Asia are no joke. These people are they're not playing around. Nothing like catching a opponent. Yeah, absolutely, man. Especially in jiu-jitsu, like sometimes you get lucky and you catch someone. I remember I was grappling at a tournament against Rodney Ferguson, who was a American Olympian judo player, and he ended up the same year he ended up going on to compete in ADCC. He was invited. He was in the invitation round. He didn't have to go to qualifiers because he was obviously an Olympian. And so I was going against Rodney, and he's a big dude. He's just huge, jacked. He was a heavyweight judo player, and it was in a tournament. And he went to do like a judo throw on me, and he didn't quite get it. And I thought standing, I got his back, and I was going to trip him and take him down. And so I'm like literally for like a split second. Mind, I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna get Roddy down. I'm thinking if I can get him around and I can get either top control or get his back right at the bat, then I've got it. I've got it locked. And so he slips and he moves out. And as I get behind him and get the grip, I'm like, all right, here we go. I go to set up the trip. Somehow this huge dude spins on me, catches me, and slams me down to the ground with a judo throw, and I'm just like flat on my back, like wind knocked out of me, scrambling to try to get back to position. Luckily, I was able to get like at least hold my own and go to decision with him. But once he had top control, it was all I could do to get back to guard and just hold off until the end, so he didn't finish me. So strong. Every time like you just touch, you're just like Lady Green, anyone play chess? I play chess poorly.
Think too much.
Oregon Trail back in the day. Yeah, I remember Oregon Trail. You have all died of dysentery.
Uh-huh.
When Lara Croft game came out, I was Tomb Raider for sure.
No,
that was a great game. The first one was a great game. Let me get into the 70s daily, but Michigan is will probably snow really tomorrow. It's May. Come on.
What season is that?
It should be spring.
Spring and it's gonna snow tomorrow.
That's the Midwest. That's the Midwest. I remember getting CDs in the computer box, Pascal.
Cereal box.
The cereal box. You get like the kids cereal, like the Choco Crunch. And like you have the kids
Cocoa
Crunch, and there'd be CDs in there. You pull the CD out and you could throw it in the computer.
No, I don't. We don't have it here.
I'll tell you, Thai movies, Thai spooky movies, Thai ghost movies are the best. Like we made a whole video about PMOC, and was it Manak, PMOC and Manak from Prakanong. We went to that whole there was some upsetting stuff about the temple, but we went to that temple just where the movie was based on. That was like the modern, the most recent version of the movie PMOC is hilarious.
It's a funny movie.
Probably the best funny ghost movie Thailand has ever made. But The Promise, like the Thai, like the movie The Promise, the Thai, so good.
Yeah.
So so suspenseful, so like heart wrenching, like Really, really good.
Also, the Shutter.
Yeah,
And
Shutter. Yeah.
if you can find it on Netflix, I don't know if it has. It's like a Body 19.
Mm,
So that's one good too. I
mm.
watched it in the theater when it's out. I don't know how many years ago.
Yeah, but the Promise. Oh, if you I think the Promise on Netflix right now. If you have VPN, you can VPN to Thailand. You can watch the Promise. If it's not in the U.S. or
It
Canada,
should be like two girls in like
Yeah.
a
in the tower.
poster.
Yeah,
Like you should
so
see it.
good, so good. The 6-1, you must be like
And
a
there's a
giant. in
story
Thailand.
about like the ghost tower.
Yeah.
That one in Sathon. That's the background of the story.
So it really is great. I mean, as far as just like a movie goes, so good. And like just good storytelling, good directing. Yeah, like a giant. I used to tell people when I first moved here that I was small for American, and some people believe me. Some people believe me.
So like for him, he cannot fit in like a local transportation.
Yeah, the little mini song tells.
It's like his head always hit, his
Yeah.
back like hit, his fat body stuck somewhere like a not easy.
It's a very nice way to put it, Jim. Thank you. But yeah,
You're
it's
welcome.
definitely a little oversized for most Thai things.
You should like stand in the orange, the small one, the bus,
Oh,
and take photo of like your head hit the.
yeah, I have to like turn my head
roof.
all the way to
Yeah.
the side. Yeah, the Tonglo bus, right?
No, just normal like a
Oh,
orange,
yeah.
like a 10 baht bus.
Some
Ah.
of them are a little taller than others. for
Yeah,
some
yeah.
reason. It's
Like
weird.
there are many
They're not
models with
consistent.
like yes.
And actually, I love the Thai buses because, like, I was talking to Kendrick, my friend Kendrick, the other night, and I was saying like, public transportation in Thailand is in Bangkok is on another level from anywhere in the U.S. Our SkyTrain and subway is amazing, better than any I've ever experienced in the U.S. Our bus routes are super robust. You can essentially take a bus anywhere in Bangkok. Now the buses aren't some of the older buses aren't they're not in great condition. The newer buses are amazing, but the old ones obviously are rough, but they still go everywhere. And on top of it,
It's a free roller coaster.
on top of it though, we have this great last mile transportation of Songtao and the scooter taxi. So it's like this public private sort of combo that you can take anywhere for your last mile. And I love the Songtao. 6 baht gets me from the top of my soy where the BTS station is all the way to the end. Easy, sometimes safely, sometimes not. Depends on who the driver is.
Yeah.
We have one uncle driver of the big red Songtao in our neighborhood. He thinks he's
F1.
racing in Formula One. He legit thinks he's an F1 racer because this dude does not know how to ease off the throttle. And actually, there are a few times I could have sworn he would go airborne on the Klong Bridge. So
Of
yeah,
course.
and like there's some buses, like actually Bus 8, the one time we took Bus 8, not an issue. But what's that bus that goes in front of Central World that we took?
74.
74. I thought we were gonna.
It's orange. It's
Yeah.
like a well, if you want to have like a interesting experience about Thai bus, try the one that non-AC
Yeah.
and is like smaller. So it's like normally it's like orange color. It's 10 baht and you have like a free roller coaster.
Actually, if you what's the one that we used to take to China at the aircon one? The no aircon.
28, 29.
29. No aircon would go from Chatu Chat to Pachani Wat, get off at Wasami and Nari. It was a hot load, hot unload situation. So you get to Watsami and Nari and you have to get off. They basically don't stop. It's just like a slow roll. And the old buses like that, every stair is a different height and width. So if you have bad knees, like I have bad knees, I have torn meniscus in each knee. So to get off these awkward ass, like uneven stairs is incredibly difficult. So I used to just grab the railing up top and like basically swing out of the bus. And the old lady who sits there collecting the 10 baht or whatever would be like, hey, don't grab so hard, it will break.
ใช่
But yeah, again, public transport is fantastic. Actually, I'll announce it soon on the channel, but I'll give you guys a little preview. My buddy Kendrick, he's actually moving to Thailand. He's going to start a YouTube channel and cover like his entire process. Like he's just about to close on his sale for his house or his condo in the U.S. So he's gonna like document his whole process. I've been like really kind of coaxing him, like you should like really there's value in that information, so you should do it. And so he's gonna, if you guys are interested in like someone going through that process, when he launches the channel, I'll have him on a live stream remotely while he's still in the States, and we'll do something about like his whole process and what he did and what he experienced. So yeah, he has a job offer over here, and he's selling everything, moving over, and he's engaged to a Thai girl who we met in the States. So it's go time for him. He's excited. It's all like really coming together for him now. So one, we're old Army buddies, so I'll be happy to have him here with me. We were in training together at AIT at Fort Bragg, so and we're in the same unit. So I'll be very happy to have him here in Thailand as a friend that I get to hang with. John, I relied on my catch wrestling until a fight in Osaka when I got a spider fracture in my orbital. Oh, yeah, that doesn't sound good. Orbital breaks. I've never had an orbital break, luckily. I've seen it happen in fights. It's not an uncommon injury. So I've seen it happen, and it definitely does not look pleasant. But yeah, catch wrestling, great base. I mean, it's, you've got submissions plus like sort of like the foundations of folk wrestling. So you have really good control. I was boxing in a tournament and my opponent stepped on my foot as I backed up, knocking me over. But I rolled into a backflip and double shuffled my feet. The crowd roared. He looked away. Nice. That's one way to do it. A win's a win. Have you been Super Potato? No, I've never been. Super Potato? Old school gaming temple. You can find pretty much every original console system. Okay, on the list of things to do. We were supposed to go to Tokyo. We were supposed to do Japan in 2020. That was like our lit. Like Japan and Taipei, Tokyo and Taipei were the two things that were like, this is happening in 2020. Neither of them happened in 2020.
And this year also.
Neither are going to happen in 2021. Hopefully, I think I really want to visit Taipei. Jib really wants to visit Japan. So probably be Japan first, especially with Taipei's proximity to China. You know, it seems like Japan's a safer bet at the moment. But I really want that OG bubble tea in Taipei.
Is it milk?
No, they have regular bubble tea too. But yeah, most of it will be
regular bubble tea.
Like tea with bubble. Oh, Thai tea. We have Thai tea for today.
Yeah.
Can you grab? So I'm gonna send Jib on a. You see that? We're going for the collar lapel choke on me with my Domo t-shirt. Jib loves to destroy my favorite t-shirts. I have a Pac-Man t-shirt I've had for 20 years. It's like practically see-through at this point, and she's been trying to get rid of that shirt forever.
It's not, I can't call it t-shirt.
This is the fabric is almost
it's not like hold up well. It's like the cloth that you use it to clean the table.
The verbatim floppies. Yeah, verbatim was like the high dollar media back in the day. If you had verbatim, you were set. So 6-1, yeah. So obviously, custom clothing is the way to go for me over here. I also have a very strange body type at my height, so very short legs.
Gorilla ratio.
Yeah, I have like gorilla ratio of body, my body proportions. I only have a 28-inch inseam.
So when we sit, we look the same height, but when we stand, much shorter.
So my buddy Mike is only 1 inch taller than me. But when we sit down, I look like I'm 4 inches taller than him because I'm all torso and he's all leg. The Queen's Gambit film was amazing. Oh my God, it's so good. The way they told story, or it was a series or a film. I can't remember.
Series.
Yeah, I think it was a series. But the way they told the story with the game and the editing and the cinematography was amazing. I was so blown away by that just so good.
I like the girl.
Yeah, she was fantastic.
She's in the Split.
Yeah. I mean, in general, I mean, that whole series was so good, and the way they used the game and the pieces to tell a story, the way they conveyed the stress of gameplay was so well done. I'm holding out for individual jetpacks for public transport or sky vehicles. I'm waiting for my flying DeLorean, damn it. It's been way past 1985 or 2000. Was it 2011 was where they went to in the future?
I don't know.
Way past that. The Promise is on Netflix. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Definitely check it out, guys. So The Promise, fantastic. If you like suspenseful, scary movies, you don't mind watching it in Thai. I don't think there's an English soundtrack to it.
Is it?
I don't think there is.
Or
No.
maybe you have to read subtitle, I guess.
Which I try to listen to as much Thai as I can anyway, just because obviously I live here and I'm trying to improve, but such a good movie. So good, guys. I have a question. Can a foreigner buy controlling interest in a Thai company? No. No, they cannot. So an American... So I'm not a lawyer and I'm not a Thai business expert to any extent, but having owned several companies and we own a company now, I feel like I can speak at least to my experience. Don't take this as professional advice, Lady Green. My understanding is no, but an American
controlling interest
own more than 50%.
No.
So so if you're an American, there's something called amnesty. The Amnesty Treaty allows you to own 100% of a company under the amnesty agreement. It's a very complicated process to go through, but depending on the type of business you want, that may be the way to go. The other option is to own a majority share of the business with a Thai partner. Or with technically multiple Thai partners, because they require three shareholders under Thai law. So, and then there's technically no such thing as a sole proprietorship in Thailand, but you can do business as something under your own tax ID. So that's like their equivalent of a sole proprietorship. So there are a ton of lawyers that you can talk to, and they have structures that they can put in place for you. We have our own business set up. It's a Thai company, so if you're American, you have the amnesty option, and that's one thing to look at. I've never done that. Your other option is the BOI, the Board of Investment, and I don't know all the ins and outs, and it changes every year with the BOI, with what businesses they qualify and what's classified under that. And there's a very strict but sometimes loosely enforced regulations about what qualifies and how. So, definitely something to look into if that's what. What am I saying? Not really sure they were. Oh, he says here, yeah, not really sure they were my brother's games, but he gave them to me. Did I miss something? What games? Radio Shack to talk about. Hoverboard, right? Actually, do you see Lexus built a hoverboard with superconductor materials, and you had to basically cool it with liquid nitrogen, and it would only work on a copper surface. But there's a video on YouTube about how they did it. It's quite cool. Yeah. Oh yeah. Subtitles on The Promise. I think that's the way to go, because the actresses in The Promise are good, so which is rare for a Thai movie. So you really do get all the emotion and everything that comes from. Footers common here. So common where? Common in America, maybe. Not too many Thais at 6 feet.
My brother.
Yeah. My brother-in-law is taller than me. Jim's brother, Job, taller than me. He's maybe 3 centimeters taller than me.
Same height.
No, he's definitely taller than me.
Maybe 180.
Bob says, "Wait, you think 6-footer Thais are common? Where in Thailand you live in, Bob?"
6 foot.
like 100,
180.
185,
Oh, no, 180.
180. Yeah.
1 feet is a 30 centimeter.
180 is definitely not common.
No, it's common.
180, no.
Yeah.
People like 1 inch shorter than me, no. How many Thais do we see on a regular basis that are for Thai men that are as tall as me? Very few.
In the BTS, you will see a lot.
No. If I'm in the BTS, it's very rare that I see a guy as tall or even close to as tall as me.
Maybe.
Like even when I was at Thai University, I met 2 people my height. Jiridat and one of my other friends. Right? That's
Okay.
and my teacher Chula never as tall as me. At KU, never.
If you walk to the gym, like
Yeah.
especially for basketball, you will see a lot of them.
Bob, I'm not saying so. I'm gonna skip some comments. Bob saying he's a 6-footer and he's Asian. Look, I'm not saying there are no Asians that aren't 6 feet. Like I said, my brother and Jiridat is my height. I have other friends who are tall. I don't think it's common. I don't even know what the average is for a Thai man, but I'm sure it's well below 180 centimeters.
I think maybe they have to see like the I don't know when this national survey about anthropometry.
169.4 for Thai men.
CACA 170.
169.4 is the average height for Thai men.
169.4, so about like 6 centimeters taller than me.
Yeah, so not super tall. Not super tall at all.
Well, it depends on like what group of people that's around you. If like they are like well nourished, like from like
Sure.
like upper middle class Thai family, yes, they will like get a good food when they were young and they grow up with you. They go to like a good university. They know what is good to eat. Then they're tall and they play sport. But like people who like deep in the soil, not really like know what to eat. They might eat like lots of like instant noodle instead of like good food. Then not really like grow well.
Nutrition is a primary factor in height and weight and everything, growth. So Craig says they sell the personal jetpack suits in London for about 500K. Damn. But I've seen the water ones. I like watching the water fail ones on YouTube. Those are quite funny. Lady Green, here in BKK. Nice. Nice. Yeah, Bangkok, greatest city in the world. Thanks for the info. Yeah, no, it's definitely possible, John. Again, American, you have the amnesty option. You also have other options that lawyers can set up for you that work well. I can help steer you towards some options when you get over here, based on depending on what you want to do.
Oh, Bob is in Bangkok.
BKK,
So he's Thai, right?
Oh, he says he's Asian. He didn't say if he's Thai or not.
Oh,
Thai or some other Asian Bob, or some mix of Asian and something else. Larson. So actually, there's a famous fight. Remember Ole Larson from he fought in FMD. He was actually he fought in K1 over in Japan. Very famous kickboxer. Last name's Larson. Ole Larson owns a gym in Ubon Ratchathani, but I want to say he's from Holland or Sweden or something. Like half. One of his parents is maybe not Thai, maybe Thai, maybe something else, but his other parent is like from Scandinavia or Europe somewhere. Yeah, Ole's one, he's a super cool guy, but two, he's a complete badass. The verbatim go-to brand. Me too. I love the verbatim disc. You pick those up. Hey Jim, what's going on, man? How's LA? How's LA today? Yeah, so he says he's Asian, but he's 6 foot. By the way, I know a lot of locals my height. So I don't know a lot of locals my height, Bob. but like a few guys like tall for Thais, like above like maybe 5'10", 5'11", but not too many 6-footers for me. Again,
Maybe in
I'm
this soy.
6'1". Not in general. Like I said, I know personally less than 5. I'm 6 foot on the BTS. I see all the way down the aisle. Yeah, right? 6'1". I can look down the BTS and right down. Actually, I took a photo the other day. We're at Siam and we're the only ones on the BTS. Actually, I've got a photo I got to post today of that motorcycle that's fully blocked. I'll post that up on the community tab later today.
What?
Remember the motorcycle outside of Pala? It had stuff hanging all around. I was like, how can they see?
Oh, okay. That's the car that sells stuff.
So you guys might get a kick out of that photo when I post it. Well, I thought most Thais were short because every Thai I see were short. Not shorter than 6 feet to me. Shorter than 6 feet. Again, like I know less than like 5, maybe 6 Thais that are as tall as me or taller, but not by any means the 6 feet is common in my experience. John was in Tokyo. My daughter and I were in a crowd. She was laughing, and I asked why. She said I look like Hagrid walking through Hogwarts at 6'2". Yeah, no, I mean, again, it's just in general, like Caucasians, Farang are taller than most Asians.
One time I remember, like when I was in high school, like we have a visitor from a Japanese school. So like all the girls, they like about my shoulder. Like we were in the same age. So it's like, really? It's like they're so cute. They're so cute, but like they're short. Like I'm not tall. Well, let's say I feel like I'm tall for Thai girl.
Yeah.
But them like about like wow.
So fan, you win. First time watching one of our live streams. Hey, welcome in
from Melbourne.
Yeah, how's things in Melbourne? Got another Australian on the channel. That's awesome.
Yes.
Welcome to Idea Studio team. Nice. Thank you very much. Actually, I remember when I was working at Kesasat and we had Japanese students visiting. All the Japanese students were shorter than the Thai students, for the most part. Maybe 1 or 2 guys were taller.
So maybe they didn't like drink milk a lot.
Maybe it was a little strange, but I remember Ensign. Right? Ensign's taller than me. Our friend Ensign, in a way, famous fighter.
He's taller than you?
He's taller than me. And
I don't know. I just remember his fist, like try to get.
Maybe he's almost as tall as me.
Like my neck, like
yeah.
I just remember
but
that.
He must be huge in Japan because he's jacked.
Chai.
So Bob says, I'm not the tallest among the guys I know here. Maybe it's location. Yeah, maybe. I mean, like, it's funny. We used to when we lived in Pachani Wet, there was a basketball team that would train at
Thai.
Yeah. And like, there was a bunch of Thais there taller than me. I don't know them personally, but there were a bunch of Thais that were like 6'6".
We met them like at a night market when they go there.
Remember the American guy who was like
the black guy?
He was 7 feet. Yeah.
He's very tall. Like I can walk like. Maybe I'm not even like at his armpit. It's like
no,
what?
I'm almost not at his armpit.
It's like wow, he's so tall.
He was like a 7-footer, and actually we're in the night market one night, and oh my god, look at this guy! And I turned and like, oh damn! I was like, you could just because he's so tall, right? He's so tall.
I'm not that sure, but I had to look at him like. Ugh.
Yeah, so we stopped and talked to him. He was telling he played semi-pro ball out here.
Oh my god!
It's actually a pretty good deal for them. Like,
I wonder how can he get in a bus.
Yeah,
even in a car here.
Like take a.
Like how can he get a Grab?
Will the scooter taxi take him?
Yeah, but like how can he sit? Like his knee will like point down and like hit all the car when.
He was He was jacked. You could tell he was he was on that level, like that pro athlete level. But he just like, like so tall, but cool guy. I think he said he was from the East Coast too, like Virginia or something. But yeah, it's just he said he played for the team there, so like. He basically works for the season.
He doesn't have to jump. He just like get the ball and like
like jump a little bit. Yeah. But yeah, there was a bunch of Thai guys that played on the teams over there. We would see them like 6'6", 6'7".
I remember one of my friends like from university. Yeah, he might be a bit taller than you, and he played basketball since he was in a school, like a high school. He got into university by the quarter, like a basketball quarter.
Nice.
So yeah, he's that tall.
At Chula?
Yeah,
So must be
he's
good.
that tall.
Hey Leslie, how's it going? Thanks for coming by. Yeah, never late. We're on the Idea Studio time here. You come as you please. Thanks for coming by. We appreciate you. Jim, I'd love to see fight matches with you and Dana underground. No.
What? Fight
match with me. Actually, I don't know if none of my old fights are online. I don't think.
It's too old.
Yeah, like so when I fought professionally, first it was 05.
Oh, I thought
04.
I thought Jim said like he wanted to see
me and you.
fight.
Yeah, no. As you can see, there's a lot of video of me reffing fights on my friend. I reffed his fight where he won. Oh, looks like we have some connectivity issue. So yeah, I reffed a fight with my friend Javier. 5-second knockout, was absolutely amazing. The guy who he was fighting ran face first into his fist. Very funny. Lady Green said, my father and brother would be giants. There's 6'8". Wow. 6'6", crazy.
Oh.
Lives there in
Maybe not
Newfield.
easy
He's
to get a
mutated
shoes
to a
and
giant.
clothes here.
Yeah, so shoes here. If you have a foot bigger than a European size 45, very difficult to find shoes. I like the Nanyang shoes, and so luckily they go up to 48. So and they're only 300 baht. They last forever. So I've got all my shoes for the most part of Nanyangs, except for my Nikes, which I don't even wear because they. No, any problems today?
Everyone stay home. Internet on.
It looks like we have good connectivity. I don't know what's going on.
Maybe someone with a cable on.
Possible. Don't connectivity issues.
Is so good.
It took me 15 and 20 years
because
to
I'm married with American. That's why my English is so good.
Her English was that good before. So I think of watching American movies. Well, it probably took you 15 to 20 years of practice just to get to the level you're at.
Well, like when I was young, I watch a Disney cartoon and like a Hollywood movie. So I just collect data. I collect data, collect like accent. I listen, but I don't speak because I don't know who I gonna speak with. And then I go into university. Yeah, a bit like foreign teacher, but not a lot. It's like science student. Most of teachers are Thai, so not really practice. But I kind of train on my listening. And then I go into a master program. It's international program in Mahidol University. Teachers also Thai, but they push you okay, speak. And when I have to present a thing, it's all technical term in English anyway. So I speak English more since then, and more international friend. So I think that's how I practice.
Togan says, "Don't feel bad. Takes long. Yeah, definitely takes longer for most Americans. Most Americans don't even speak that good of English, Jim."
Huh?
Token was telling Jim, "Don't feel bad." It's true. Most Americans don't speak English that well. So, and actually, you know what's funny? There's Thailand has a weird thing where a lot of Thais are super competitive in Scrabble, international Scrabble games. And even they might not speak any English at all, but they know all these words.
It's vocab.
Yeah.
It's vocab. If you remember words.
But I mean, it's good. It's just strange. There's so many high-level Scrabble competitors.
So
So guys, this is real quick. This is Vita Milk Thai tea. This is the J version. So you can see here
the yellow.
So the yellow flag
and the red
means it's vegan. It's made from soy milk. So this is Thai tea is a classic Thai drink. And this is actually a really good version of it. It's hard to explain what it is. It's a very tea flavor, and the soy milk makes it really milky and creamy. It's not bad at all.
Not bad.
So most Asians that are tall, my experience, are mixed. Actually, no, I'll say the tallest Asians I know are not mixed. Like for me personally, the tallest Thais I know are not mixed. Gator Jake, what's up, Gator Jake? I'm 5'5", and if I'm wearing a hat, it's hard to pick me out of the crowd of Thais. But I'm Godzilla in Okinawa.
Oh, really? Oh,
5'5".
my God.
Godzilla in Okinawa. Oh, God, so I would be super mega Godzilla. Mecha Godzilla. The YouTuber, the real exorcist Barb Lawson with 100K subs. Oh. Jim, have you guys attended overnight music festivals? I know they have a couple. Sounds like fun. I've never been to a music festival here in Thailand. I've been to some in the U.S., but never like one where I stayed overnight. My buddy Suki, he some music.
Suki is in like a สวนพึ่งไหมอ่ะ
Yeah, they do. It's like it's a weekend. And actually, he offered to give me tickets to one before because I'm a big fan of Singto and Singto Namchok. And so he was performing at that festival. He was like, "Oh, if you want to come, just let me know. Just bring a tent." And it's like all weekend long. And I ended up like not doing it, but I might next year. Maybe I'll take him up on it and like ride out on a bike and spend a weekend just camping and listening to music, hang out, get dirty, not shower.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah, Jib won't be going, but I might. Token Nomad, I'm 5'6", but the program. Oh, when I double click that, the program has me listed at 5'9". 5'6". I sometimes wish I was like a little bit shorter, right? That my center of gravity would be a little bit more normalized. Hey, Bob, no problem. We're just talking about, we're still on the tall Asians. I have to email you a pic of my son in Japan. 6'8", look like kaiju. 6'8".
Kaiju. Hey.
6'8", that's tall. That is tall. They say my brother-in-law is Thai. He's tall. Wow.
Ooh.
You're just hanging around with giants, Bob. I don't know who you're hanging out with.
What area you live in? Like Thonglo or what area?
Is there a nuclear plant here in?
No. We don't have nuclear plant here. I wonder what area.
Yeah, where are you living, Bob?
Oh yeah, like why he's surrounded by the tall people.
He's living like down by Klong Toy, like toxic waste.
I don't know.
Oh, Bob, I'm just joking, man. It sounds like you're surrounded by giants. My wife's father is tall for a Thai as well. He's 5'11". Yeah, 5'11's tall for a Thai. I'm from Chiang Mountain people. They got cowboys in Chiang Mai. I always thought it was funny. Like guys who are actually like real cowboys up there in the mountains. Oh, your father-in-law is a cop. Oh. Good business in Thailand to be a cop. Oh, things are good in Melbourne. I've only been to Bangkok once, but I loved it. Want to come back? Hey, we'd love to have you back. Anytime that someone wants to come and visit Thailand, we always think it's a great thing. And it's a lot of Aussies love. A lot of Aussies love Thailand, right? We know quite a few, and they always come through here. What do you guys call it? Like bangers. Go to bangers. They call Bangkok bangers.
Really?
The couple of Aussies that I've met, they call it bangers.
Really?
Spend a week in bangers, mate.
So like, how can I understand English? Like,
for me, it's very difficult.
Vocab is different
to understand Australians.
Like because they have their own like
they've got like a short form of English. It's like like McD's is Macca's.
Yeah, like
I remember the first time I met an Australian was in Bangkok, and they asked me like, "Hey mate, you know where Macca's is around here?" I'm like, "What?" Like, Macca's. I'm like, McDonald's, mate, McDonald's.
Okay, when someone started to call you mate, so can I assume he's from Australia?
Probably, yeah.
Okay, then I will try to understand the short term of every name.
Yeah.
Like,
But yeah, Fad, actually, once quarantine's done, make the trip. I think it's an easy trip for you guys too. I think it's only like, it depends on Melbourne's on the east coast, right? So it's a little bit further, but I mean Perth is in the same time zone as Malaysia, so I think it's like 6 hours from there. So you might be 12 hours to get to Bangkok from Melbourne, maybe. Didn't you go with Chris retired working for you? Yeah. It was just
last week?
Yeah, we live streamed with Chris last week. We're on his live stream.
A bit.
Yeah, for a little bit. He was doing his
Almost
pay it
like
forward. Yeah. And just hung out. Actually, I was just talking to him yesterday too. Chris is or not 2 days ago. Just messaging with him real quick.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris, did you guys see Chris's 1 year anniversary video? It was amazing. So good.
Oh, that one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely go check. If you haven't checked out Retired Working for You and Chris's 1 year anniversary video, it was so good. He did such a great job with the edit and the storytelling. So fantastic. Hey, DT, what's up? Do you think they will open up gaming in Thailand? Gaming as in gambling gaming or
What is gaming?
oh you're talking about thinking of betting on fights, etc. Legally?
No.
No, probably not. Illegally?
Always.
Easy to do if you go to the fights, but legally do it. No. It's not a thing. And I don't think they would do it.
No.
And there's no casino gaming here, legal casino gaming either. But you may be able to find a casino that or a
somewhere
place,
hidden somewhere.
Not a casino. You may be able to find a place that has games like a casino would have.
That has the same table, but it's not a casino.
Yes. So you have options. But yeah, I don't think you'll ever see it. Not in the near future, I'll say. I don't think you'll see it in the near future.
So it's actually, they used to talk about like, oh, should we like have it legal so then get more like tax from that? And then like there will be like a talk about pro and con, and then it will never happen. As I remember, it's like at least 2 times that is like big talking about this topic, but never happened.
I mean, I could see the one thing I could see happening if you're talking about casino gaming and sportbook, I could see it happening in like a zone like Pattaya or something, where like like Vegas has casinos, right? But Nevada in general like doesn't. There's not casinos all over Nevada.
Or just like
it's concentrated.
Vegas?
This Reno has some, but I mean really it's Vegas, right? It's a destination city. You already have the infrastructure in Pattaya with the hotels and resorts that you could say, okay, within the city limits or within these limits of Pattaya, gaming could be legal for casinos. And then I could see the government considering something like that. But keep in mind, you're then competing with probably Singapore is really the closest place that has a casino.
Cambodia?
Cambodia has shitty casinos that people who go to gamble in Cambodia will gamble anywhere, right? And then Macau is probably really the big one.
Yeah.
And Macau has like the whole North Korea thing with Macau, and like that's where they wash their money and everything. But and also the whole relationship with China makes that complicated at the moment. But I would say like I could see it being a zoned thing, like Pattaya or Phuket, somewhere where it's a resort location. Probably not Phuket, but you know what I mean.
Maybe not. We will never have it.
I don't think it will ever pass. And I think there's probably influences from like Singapore where they're like Singapore doesn't want to compete with Thailand for gambling, right? So like because who would go to Singapore to gamble if you could come to Thailand? But I think also it's complicated. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't know. I'm not an expert on the Thai legal system.
I think it will never happen. They will let it pass.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm sure they would have to do an economic feasibility study, right? So they would have to determine could the economic growth of doing it either. Again, I don't think they'll ever do it, legalize it nationwide. I think it would be a zone thing. And then it would have to be, does the economic feasibility make sense? But I'll tell you what, if it's ever going to happen, coming out of COVID, coming out of lockdown, pandemic, all of that is the time that it could happen. Because if they want to bring tourism back, gambling tourism is a real thing. And so
why not just like a regular tours, like come to visit nice beach and the temple and the art part of Thailand?
Again, those are the things that we love. We don't gamble.
Yeah.
Like I don't gamble at all. Like I don't bet on anything. But I think that if it were going to happen, again, I think it would be in a tourist zone. I think Pattaya would probably be the ideal location, or maybe they identify a new zone like Rayong or something where they want to build up industry. But if you want to do it overnight, Pattaya is the place. So let's say they do that, and it's a way to attract more tourism and help economic recovery. That's the only argument I could see being put forward. Would that pass? I don't know. Probably, if it hasn't passed twice, I can't see it going out. But again, I could be wrong. Back to the comments. Toganova says, very common for Thai to learn English from the media. My wife says she first learned from her Thai from watching MTV Total Request Live. TRL back in the day.
MTV.
So her English she must know all the choice words. Does she have the South Park humor as well, Craig? I love South Park. What type of ethnic food is your favorite? Ethnic other than Thai? I'm a fan of South Asian food, Indian food. I'm really, really partial to Malaysian mamak food, which I know Jip hates.
I can eat, but like not much.
Yeah, and mamak food is like Malay, Muslim, Indian Muslim food. Really good street food style. Jib, not a fan. She doesn't like that spice profile either. What's your favorite, Jib? Your favorite non-Thai food?
Japanese.
Well, second
Can it
favorite.
count? Huh?
Second favorite then. So other than Japanese, what would be your second favorite?
For ethnic food,
something not Thai.
Something not Thai. No.
So just Japanese?
Yeah.
Jib hates Mexican food too.
I don't like.
Yeah, definitely not. Well, like Tex-Mex. I'll call it. She doesn't like Tex-Mex. Oh, you like Southern American style food, brisket, mac and cheese.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like just
cornbread.
Something. No, I just like something, but like not the whole the food.
So Gajix is a buddy of mine who was a PSYOP officer, had an interpreter in Iraq whose English was great, but he would always drop the F-bomb when asked where he learned English. I gotta open up the chat because sorry, Jake, you got cut off. So I gotta read it from the chat. He would drop the F-bomb, he learned English, he always applied American rap songs. Too funny. It's a good way to learn it.
Maybe learn from a Samuel Jackson movie.
Yeah, when I was in AIT, I was with all the PSYOP people. We go to school together at
What is PSYOP?
Psychological Operations. 37 Foxtrot. Yeah, our school was a joint school at Special Warfare. So we're all there together. It's fun times. High level Scrabble champs. Always something interesting to learn about Thailand. I love it. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Scrabble people here are high level. Super high level. I'm always blown away by the proficiency of Scrabble players in Thailand, how serious they take it. There's a couple Scrabble clubs in Bangkok that if you're really into it, you can go, but get ready for a shellacking. Oh, Bob's back. Busy morning. Police. Oh my God.
Is it old one?
I loved the Police Academy movies are so funny. I think they're doing either a new one or a reboot. Bobcat Goldthwait is the first time I saw him.
He's from Singapore.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're Singaporean. Nice. Gator Jacob, buddy. This is same comment. Do you know Johnny there? No, I don't. Who's that? Johnny? Is something happening? No. Is that their name, or is Johnny and then you're saying something's happening? Oh, Fawn says fan or Fawn. I'm sorry if I'm fan or Fawn. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong, but yeah, they shorten everything. I love the way Australians speak. And actually, I don't know if you know the YouTube channel Aussie Man. He's hilarious. He's got like he does this segment in some of his like interviews where he interviews movie people where he's like guess the Aussie slang, and it's like, you know, things like what does it mean if your friend's cactus, or like he's just so funny. But the way Australians talk, like their slang talk, I just love it. I think it's the greatest thing. And you know, the way like sort of like the Australian sort of like they're so casual about everything. It's like so cool.
There must be like so cool for everything when all animals try to kill them.
True, right? Like when every creature in your country is trying to murder you.
Positive attitude.
Yeah.
For everything.
When every animal you run into can potentially murk you. Yeah, I mean, you got to be just casual and laid back. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm like an Aussie culture boy, I guess you could say. But yeah, I absolutely love it. The way that Australians speak and their slang, I think it's the greatest thing. That second part, pay it forward. He has to run away from the mob. Yeah, so the second one, where he was down on the.
Told you.
Yeah.
I told you to warn Chris about that.
So yeah, I mean, all good. You know, I like what he's doing, man. I like his whole vibe where he just, in the fact that, you know, he's really committed to like any money he makes from like AdSense or like super chats, you know, that all goes to his pay it forwards. He doesn't keep any of that. And you know, I think it's fun. He's done some really cool stuff with it, like the food at the schools. Like someone gave him $10,000. He spent $10,000 on food.
So nice of him, but like sometimes it's that also dangerous. Can be dangerous for him. Walk with money in his hand, you know.
I mean, he's just a good dude. He's a good-hearted dude, and
I just worry about his safety.
Yeah, I definitely. Jib was saying like he shouldn't have gone down where he was at by himself, but
yeah, you think about like just him and Adam.
But he's still alive.
Yeah,
so it's okay.
It's just dangerous.
Yeah, Bob says it's kind of dumb they don't open a casino here legally. You know, I don't disagree that it would make sense from a tourism and a business perspective, but again, feasibility study from an economic perspective, also infrastructure perspective and environmental perspective, you'd have to see what that looks like. But yeah, I definitely think Pattaya could compete. Someone like Pattaya, I'm just going to say Pattaya because I think it makes the most sense.
Not too far from airport.
Yeah, not far from the airport, right? You can, and actually they would probably open a new airport there if it took off. But the feasibility of it, you know, you would put gaming in Singapore out of business. Cambodia, like I said, people who gamble in Cambodia will still gamble in Cambodia. Macau. And you would attract a lot more Chinese tourism for sure. Yeah, as soon as word got out about the free money. Yeah, I mean, again, like, I think, you know, it is what it is. What happened. You know, for Chris, yeah, like I said, he made it out okay, and I don't think he was ever really in real danger. Like middle of the morning, out what he was doing, and he was just trying to. I remember talking to him. I asked him about what his pay it forward was going to be like during the lockdown restriction, you know, and he was actually having a hard time coming up with something. So he wanted to really just figure it out. So, you know, maybe not, you know, maybe it was a good idea. Maybe not. Maybe he'll do it again like that. But it was just hard for him to like put something together during that time. And he wanted to do something. So I think that was a good choice. And to do it, you know, 2 days in a row. He was a little tipsy when he left our place on that first night. And then he was up for like a 9 a.m. live stream the next day with Adam. So it couldn't have been too bad. Learn Tay. Hey, how's it going, man? Well said. Thank you. Yes, sir. I saw a lot of Thais gambling at Tekali Casinos 2019. Takaleke. I don't know what that is.
Where is that?
Yeah, I don't know. Where is that at? Or maybe it's Cambodia or Singapore.
I don't know.
Well, it's only smart move. I don't disagree. If they do it, it makes sense.
I think maybe if like they're gonna really allow it happen here, it might be regulations just for tourists.
Yeah, I mean it could be. I mean, Thais love to regulate Thais. She doesn't like Mexican food.
No, I don't.
Yeah, I don't. Why don't you like Mexican food?
Too much cheese. I think, and it's like some type of spice, like seasoning that they use. That like too much for me.
Fawn asks, have we ever been to a bookshop in Central Embassy called Open House, designed by a Japanese company? I think they won a most beautiful bookshop award recently. Is that, Fawn, is that the one on the top floor of Central Embassy?
Central Embassy.
I think I might have gone there with Minority Nomad with Eric.
Okay.
I think that's where, remember I said I saw the hipster with the twisted up mustache?
No.
Yeah. Anyways, actually, I think I was telling Frank about that hipster one time, and I was like, "Oh, and by the way, he had a twisted, curled mustache." And Frank's like, "You didn't have to mention that detail; it was assumed." But I think I have been there up on the top floor of Central Embassy with my friend Eric, and yes, it is beautiful. It's a gorgeous, gorgeous bookstore. If it's the one I'm thinking about, the open space and the cafes in the middle. Like multiple levels. It is gorgeous, but it's kind of weird. It almost doesn't. This is what I thought was weird about that spot is that it doesn't feel like you're actually in a bookstore because it was so dispersed and open.
Oh, no.
And it's just kind of like you walk up to that floor and you're there.
I like Kinokuniya.
Actually, the Kinokuniya in Paragon. Is it not? Yeah, Paragon.
Paragon.
The one in Paragon, their art and design section is amazing. It's so nice, so bountiful. There's a Salvador Dali exhibit coming up that Jib just bought tickets to. When are we going? The 19th?
18.
18.
We start 18.
When-
Let's see if they can.
When did you buy the tickets for?
When?
What day?
What? No, it's just like open ticket.
Okay.
When we go there, we use
just
it
show
and
it.
then
Okay.
done.
So we got tickets for the Salvador Dali exhibit.
Pay for
coming up.
early
Yeah.
bird. That's it.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to that. We'll probably make a video about that because I think it'll be a good experience. Just like when we went to the River City exhibit before, like all the art there, it was amazing. The cityscape stuff. I think Salvador Dali it's such trippy art.
It's not just
Bojo, he's personally insulted that you don't like Mexican food.
Sorry.
I probably eat enough Mexican food for the two of us though.
So when I see you eat like what is the
taco
rice
burrito?
Rabbit? Yeah, it's too big. It's like
yeah, but you can eat taco, small taco.
You order for me before. It's like
you didn't
cheese
like it,
and
yeah.
like even it's just a small 3 pieces. I cannot finish. It has to be 2 meals.
Yeah, but if I order like the chicken breast meal from the Mexican place,
that one I can eat.
that.
Yeah. Okay, if it's like a what's that? A grilled chicken?
Yeah, grilled chicken. Yeah.
With salad, yeah, I can finish. I can eat. Yeah, I enjoy that. But like if it's a real thing, like a taco, burrito, I cannot.
Fajita, you don't like. I remember I got Jib once enchiladas, thinking she would like all the melty cheese and everything, and she did like the melty cheese and everything on the enchilada. But then it was like you only ate like a quarter of it, and you were like, "Oh, it's too much, too rich." So I think maybe it's like, but like it's Tex-Mex style, right? So it's like very rich and melty cheese and heavy. Where I think is like if it was like fresco style Mexican food, like or like Cali Mex style, like California Mexican, you would probably like it a little bit more. It's a little bit lighter, more vegetable in it.
Okay.
You probably enjoy that more than like the Tex-Mex style, which is slightly heavier because it has the American influence on it. I think street food is enough of a gamble in Thailand.
No.
You know what? I laugh at that, but it is true. Like you always are running.
No,
the chance
Frank,
of
you
getting sick.
go out on 95 and go to ส้มตำ shop and get ส้มตำปูปลาร้าค่ะ
Oh, you get the. I tell you, it's a gamble when you get that granny's kanyo magmua.
Oh yeah.
That's definitely questionable coconut sauce that she's got on there. Yeah, I was CA, Gator Jake. I was 38 Alpha. Yeah, actually, I tried to go to selection for SF, and I got shot down by my commander. It was like a big mess. That's actually part of the reason I ended up getting out. I was trying to go to selection, and they wouldn't let me go, and they were trying to like essentially lost me into my unit. It's a big clusterfuck of a story. But yeah, I was 38 Alpha. Bloody love Aussie man, hilarious. Yeah, he's so funny, man. So funny. I love the Aussie slang. Aussie man is awesome. He was doing a podcast. Yeah, he was. I don't know if he still is. There's a short little series where he voices a robot that was produced by an Australian film company. It's so good. If I can find it, I'll share it in the community section of the channel. Today or tomorrow, but he's so funny as the robot. He's like the robot companion of a human girl, and it's like so hilarious. I think I watched some of it with you, and you were like, but it's like really the animation's really good, but it's also just really fun. Python versus hyena versus honey badger commentary was Anytime he does one of the animal things, I also like the destination fucked. When he does Destination Fucked, I think those are hysterical. Hyena. Google casinos and Sapiens and read what it's done to the island community. Casinos and Sapien. All right. I will Google it later, Craig. I'm going to screenshot that.
I think that's a siphon, not sapien.
Oh, yeah. Siphon. God. I cannot read. I'm going to actually just screenshot this so that I remember to Google that. Thank you for the recommendation, Craig. Mexican food doesn't have a lot of cheese. Oh, Tex-Mex food has a lot of cheese. So Tex-Mex is
the Mexican food that you order for me.
So the place that we can order from here is really more Tex-Mex style bosho. So I think that's what, and much heavier than what Jib is used to eating. Sorry, I stepped away. Do you guys know Johnny? There's something happening. And 2, would you ever do a call? I don't know who that is, Johnny there. So I guess that's a channel. Johnny, there's something happening. I don't know who he is. And would I ever do a collab? I guess if I checked out their content and it was aligned, then maybe. Like I'm pretty much open to work with almost anyone if they're a decent person to do a collab. As long as you're not a shitbag. Like I'm not gonna the people who make like sex pap videos, I'm not gonna go do a collab with them. Like people who are filming down on making content about cowboy or like walking street, like that's their only type of content. Like I've got no interest in that. Like if someone does that once, like to put a video out about it to be informative, that's one thing. But there are people who I've seen their channels where that's all they do is like nightclubs, patio, like that's not the type of stuff that I would want to do. But like if you want to make videos, someone who just makes videos about Thailand or life in Thailand, that's different. But I don't know who he is, so I've never seen his channel. I'd have to check it out. I will remember that for later too. I'll look them up. Johnny, there's something happening. Are they in Bangkok, Lady Green? Or the Mexican? You know what's funny, Basso, is the Thais tend to think Mexican chilies are spicy.
Spicy jalapeno.
But compared to Thai chilies, they're not hot at all. But like Jib will eat a jalapeno and be like, "Oh my god, it's so hot!" Like really, this is like 1/100th of a Thai chili.
Whoa! For Thai, when we eat like we add chili in a dish. We not really like chew the chili. We just get like some spiciness from it.
Oh, okay.
But jalapeno, we like eat it.
Yeah, maybe.
So, but some Thai will eat like the whole chili, like Phon, she will eat the whole chili, no problem.
Yeah.
But
She's
for
a
me,
badass.
that's a problem.
Phon's a badass. That's why.
Oh, in Burma.
Actually, it's in Myanmar. I've been to Myanmar. It's interesting. Cambodia has 93 licensed casinos. Actually, I went to a casino when I was in Cambodia back in 2006. I don't even know if it was a legal one or not. But I have a buddy who he worked for Vice for a while. He might work for Vice again now. My buddy Caleb Quinney is a journalist. And he actually did a story on casinos in Cambodia in some border town with Thailand. And he's told me like that was the one time like he really felt like his life was in danger at some points, was when, you know, like the people from the casino were like hunting them down, looking for them, and, you know, going after him and like giving him a hard time. So
scary.
Yeah. So definitely, I mean, sketchy. Again, for him, he felt like not that safe when that was going on. And again, it impacted its local community thing. Hey, Fawn says, I think you're right. I just saw it on YouTube. Looks amazing. I'm really into books, by the way. My real name is Don. Don't worry about how you say Fawn, you win. Okay, Don. Thank you. Actually, I'm working on. I'm waiting on a book to arrive. One of my
Will it ever arrive?
So I emailed them. They said I have to wait until the 21st to file. For some reason, I ordered a book from the company Book Depository, which was founded by a former Amazon employee, and it's free worldwide, essentially. But they ship it without tracking, which is weird. But I gotta say, their customer service is phenomenal. However, their shipping, not so much. But I ordered a book that takes place in Bangkok, a fictional book. And I haven't read fiction in a while. So one of my subscribers suggested to me. And I thought it would be really cool to make a series of videos about it if the book is good.
Should I read it?
Yeah, so I think we'll read it, and I'll do videos about it. And I'm thinking of a way that I can get the audience, the community, involved in like the sort of the book storytelling and like showing the places that are mentioned in the book.
Would it be like you can ride a boat from Chao Phraya to Phuket in a couple hours?
No, not like so. I'm sure you guys, have all of you seen Hangover 2?
Or you take Red Songtel from Bangkok to Chiang Mai Temple that type.
Jim and I loved talking about the geography of Hangover 2. That you can apparently take a Songtel from Soy Cowboy to Chiang Mai in like a couple of hours, not even. And then you can also take a speedboat from the Chao Phraya River to Phuket,
which is the other side of the ocean,
as if Malaysia doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So yeah, the geography of Hangover 2 is quite funny.
So would the book look like that?
I don't think so. I've read like a sample chapter. So I'll wait until it comes in, and then I'll do a video about like announce it and everything, and we can talk about it. So Bosho asked if you had tamales. Oh man, it's cutting out again. So you had tamales at Ash Kickers. Colin made them. It's like the corn with the inside, and it comes wrapped in the leaf, and you open it up.
Oh, you have it, but
I have the vegan one. You had the pork one. No?
No, never.
I thought you had the pork one.
No, because he always cooked the vegan for you, not like a regular for me.
Later, I think Johnny would be glad to collab. He looks like a sweet dude. I saw a video on a lot of YouTubers staying here and meeting Impact. I'll have to check him out then. It looks like a cool dude then. I'll definitely check it out.
Oh, Kinokuniya.
Yeah, Kinokuniya is the best. Like the design, listen, the design section of the Paragon one's out of this world.
If you like Japanese book, I would say go to Importier.
Yeah. Yeah. The one
in
like Importier is nice. Yeah. But yeah, for design stuff, Paragon all day. How come Australian ladies don't talk like that, or at least those I came across? Oh, that's a good question.
What Jem speak?
No, Jem almost talks like an American.
But like sometimes she speaks so fast that I cannot catch the word.
What does Jem say? She's like, yeah, nah, yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
So our friend Gemma, like the first time she's like, yeah, nah, yeah. I'm like, what?
What?
She's like, no, it's an Australian thing. But Adam's Australian too, technically, right? Half Australian, half Malaysian.
He grew up in Malaysia, or
Yeah,
what?
but I think he's half Australian, half Malaysian.
Yeah, but
and
like
they both talk like Americans.
maybe Adam is like more international because
Yeah.
he like trained in Japan for many years,
Yeah.
and then Brazil, I guess.
Yeah, and then America.
Yeah, so he's like have to speak like the way that everyone can understand.
Yeah. But I like Joe. Yeah, nah, yeah. Yeah, nah, yeah. Johnny, there's something happening is a YouTube channel from Hangin.
Oh, Hangin.
When he collaborated with
Okay.
Chris is how I found Parker's channel.
Oh,
Okay. So yeah, I'll have to check it out then. Maybe I didn't see that video with Chris.
Oh.
So I'd seen a few, the way I became friends with Chris is I had seen a few of his videos and I thought they were really funny. He'd done like a Bangkok hospital tour videos and like talking about like healthcare in Thailand.
Okay.
And he did it in a really fun way. And so I reached out to him like, hey, would you like to be on Bangkok Strange, one of my podcasts, and which is on hiatus at the moment. But he said, yeah, no problem. And it was like right when I think he had just hit 25,000 subscribers. And he did this whole video about like he's like a big time YouTuber now. It was like a spoof. And like he was pretending like we were the Joe Rogan podcast when he came on and like filmed a bit. And you know, just really, he was a really fun guy. And me and him just kind of hit it off. And then, you know, he asked, like, could he do a tour of my house for his channel? I was like, yeah, sure, no problem. Because he had done all these condo tours and he had never toured like a house, like a local house. And also where we live is like a very local type neighborhood. So he was like, yeah, can I come check out? I was like, yeah, no problem. And we did that. Then we went down to the market, hung out at the Watt. And it was a cool time. And we just like our friendship just kind of built and kind of snowballed over those things. And, you know, then, you know, I took him to the MMA fights. I set that up so that he could do the vlog from that, which I think came out amazing. And then recently we did a herping video. We went out snake hunting. And maybe that will drop soon. Jim doesn't like the idea of snakes.
Walk in the night. Try to find snake. I don't think that sounds a good idea.
Check out the Australian Wilford. Really funny. Okay, Wilford. I'll check that out. I've tried Mayan food. I have not tried Mayan food. I would. I mean, I'm sure it's good. I'll pretty much eat. I'll try anything that's vegetables. I don't eat meat. So, but I'll try anything that has vegetables. Johnny is the guy who sent Chris the pig's head in the morning. I don't know if I saw that. I'll have to go back and check it out. He sent him a pig's head.
Like real one?
It's like was that like a Godfather? No, Godfather was a horse head, right? Was it supposed to be like a spoof like that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's from Hoi Hin.
Oh, Hoi Hin.
Okay.
Hoi Hin.
We were supposed to go to Hoi.
No, we
near
go like further than Hoi Hin.
Yeah, but we're planning on going paddleboarding, taking a paddleboarding trip, and then this third wave hit.
Yeah.
And so maybe June, July we'll go.
July, maybe.
Maybe it'll be after Jam goes back to school now. He's Australian, lives in Hoi Hin. Nice. I remember. So, well, I won't talk about the other person from Hoi Hin, the Thai girl. Who Jib gets triggered by her English. Or she get triggered by her Thai too. Okay, that's enough. My cousin sold his company to Vice, creative cat. Oh, nice. And now I guess he sold that, I guess, when Vice was on their ramp up with their Disney money. And now Vice is sort of on like a downward trajectory. Oh, here Jim's got a question. Jib, what do you like most about Americans? Or Dana? And Dana, what do you most like about Thais? Jib. And what do you like most about Americans? Our superiority? Everything?
Nah. It's like, well, what I like about dinner He's smart.
I've really fooled her. I like that she believes that.
He's like get into science. So we base on science. Everything that we talk, we base on science. So that's what I like.
You guys that don't know, if you're new to the channel, so before we were designers and like full-time designers, craft people, I was an engineer and Jib was a scientist. So yeah, we both have master's degrees in science.
You're an engineer, right?
Yeah, information communications technology. I was an engineer in the U.S. and Jib has a master's degree in nutritional science, and was a registered dietitian and researcher in Thailand. So yeah, we have a strong science background.
We joke about statistics.
Yeah,
and we get that joke, so it's good.
A lot of math jokes going on in our house. A lot of math jokes.
Yeah, so that's what I like.
So yeah, no, I think we both have a similar rigor for data as well. So there's a lot of statistical jokes and a lot of data science between us. So yeah, I think that's like common ground. I mean, I don't know that I like anything specifically about Thai people or Thai women in general. I mean, Thai people for the most part are nice, but
we're friendly.
Like, yeah, but I mean, for the most part, it's like Jib's intelligence.
Have a nice smile.
And yes. But I think for the most part, Jib's intelligence and her motivation, her drive, that attracts me to her.
I cannot drive.
And her ability to troll me now. So Jib never used to troll me until she realized how fun it could be. And then she's like, oh, I can just pretend I don't understand what you mean and just troll you. Lady Green, so Johnny's all right. So I'm gonna check him out. I'm gonna take a look at his channel. Maybe I'll figure out a way to meet him when we pass down that way.
When we can go out Bangkok.
Yeah, I watch a few of his videos. He seems like a funny guy, but I know he loves to smoke his food, which I do too. Oh, he's into smoking his food.
Smoke his food.
Like brisket.
Ah.
I've never been to Belize. No. Funny thing, my father passed away 12, 13 years ago, but he was actually planning to retire in Belize. That was like his whole plan. He ended up dying a little early. If you want to read a thriller novel that deals with the shady Cambodian casinos set mostly in Thailand, check out The Quiet Professional. I'm going to screen cap that. I just switched my keyboard. And so now I've got a screen cap button right on my keyboard now. So I don't have to hit Control-Shift-4. Yeah, I agree. Jalapeno is like a red ant compared to the chili, which is a piranha. Spicy and attacks all over. Waiting for my jobs in June before flying to Bangkok early July. Nice.
Like a red ant.
Yeah.
What is red ant?
Like a small little ant.
Oh, it's a bite you and it's like burn.
Yeah.
Compared to Thai chili, which is like.
So I don't know if you guys are into mechanical keyboards. I just got this. It's the thinnest by a company called Keychron. This is the thinnest mechanical keyboard on the market, apparently. Really, really great keyboard. I had been using the Apple keyboards for years and years, and I've been typing a lot more lately. I'm working on a book about kind of like a collection of short stories about Thailand, and I want something with a bit more travel on the key. So I didn't like regular mechanical keyboards. They're too thick, they're bulky, and I saw that they had this thin one, so I gave it a shot, and I've really loved it since I got it. Don says, that's how I found your channel when Chris did a video about where you live. I like the look of local Thai houses. Yeah, I'll tell you, the architecture out here, I'm actually working on, I'm writing something right now about local Thai architecture. I want to start to do more video essay type videos on the channel as the channel grows. So I've got a few topics I've been writing and putting shot lists together for. But one of them is on the Thai architecture, the architecture of local Thai homes and buildings. And I think that's one of the really interesting things. It's Jim and I are both fans of more minimalist design and contemporary versus modern design wise. And I'm a fan of like a very streamlined architecture, but like I'm also very much inspired by like the arts and crafts movement from like Europe, or the American craftsman house. I think is a great dwelling example, whereas it's very minimalist in its design, but can be made unique through the interior work or the life of the occupant. And so Jib and I kind of like both kind of have a similar aesthetic in that regard. I think that we like these more minimalist buildings. And then for large scale buildings, I'm a big fan of brutalism, which is a post World War II design aesthetic heavily influenced by minimalist and modernism. And obviously I think Scandinavian design is very popular at the moment, where with that sort of clean minimalist look. But I like brutalism, like that overbuilt kind of concrete structure. And obviously concrete is now the predominant building material here in Asia. Maybe a little nerdy on the design, the architectural front there. But again, like our influences come from a lot of places. Like, and actually I was just having a conversation the other day I work with a Singaporean group called Prototype Design Science. I'm director of their lab at King Mongkut, and I basically represent them here in Thailand. And I was having a conversation with the founder about modernism in design, because he's working on this research project about. We did a talk essentially for Bangkok Design Week, a virtual talk, and we're talking about this idea that modernism is very much associated with colonialism. And this idea that it was essentially like cultural control through design, and how that impacts the worldview of design, and is it culturally appropriate for this aesthetic to carry over into other aspects of life. And a lot of those points aside, I think that the way Thai architects have nerds. You're not wrong, Frank. You're not wrong. But yeah, so there's this big conversation about design and modernism, and how that interacts with culture. And I think that, again, I'm a big fan of the craftsman house, from like essentially the American bungalow, in taking a small minimalist design. So this is one of the places that Jib and I diverge on. I'm a big fan of tiny homes in small living spaces. Jib hates this.
How can you like tiny house? You big.
And so we've talked about that. Jib thinks it's hilarious, because I'm like we were watching videos the other day of smallest apartments in New York, and there was one that was 6 square meters.
You can't even like turn around in the bathroom in that small place.
So the smallest one didn't have its own bathroom. But I like the idea of maximizing a compact space. Now, I don't know that necessarily. Obviously, we have a huge place where we live now because we work here too. So downstairs is office space for us, which oddly enough is where we live most of the time, right? And then upstairs for us is more living space. So we have couple bedrooms, studios, storage upstairs.
So at least we have like a not messed up bedroom.
Yeah. Our bedrooms, essentially, we have one shelf in our bedroom that we don't really, I keep a couple things on there, but it's really just storage that we don't have place for anywhere else. I mean, a phone call. Huh. Yeah, would you mind to answer that? A random phone call.
No. Just hang up.
Oh, okay.
Get that number. I will check by who's call.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
I love this app.
Recent.
Yeah. What? Okay,
So,
you keep talking.
So yeah, what was that? Oh yeah, so like our space is big, but because we work here, right? We don't have like a living. Our guest bedroom where Jam, our daughter, stays right now, is like that's really set up to be our living room. That just doubles as a.
Just to say,
What? No.
don't know who.
Okay, so there's this that's our guest room, but also supposed to be our living room. But because we essentially work downstairs, we have our movie chairs here that we bought from Scala, and like that's just kind of our hangout area. It's how we chill. Godfather spoof right when he woke. Oh, okay, yeah. I will check it out. Pighead spoof from The Godfather. Yes, we are nerds. We are nerds. Mac or PC? Mac. Our entire workflow is on Mac. So I've got. So right now we're set up on my Mac Mini. I've got the M1 Mac Mini. I've got MacBook Pro. Jib has a MacBook Pro. We have iPad Pro. So both have iPhones.
I don't have iPad.
Both have iPhones. I have an iPad. Jib doesn't. Jib didn't want an iPad. But yeah, so our whole workflow is on Mac. So it makes it easy for us to collab, to pass work back and forth to each other, to do whatever. And I think Jib was a PC person before we met. And then
you changed me.
Are you happier though?
Yeah.
So
but it just like take time to familiar with the new system.
So when Jib quit her job finally, and after much prodding, and started her own business, she switched everything over to Mac, so that because some of the software that she wanted was on Mac originally, and then what happened was it was just easier for us to collab together on projects if she was on Mac because I was on Mac. And I had been a PC guy for years and years. I used to run Linux on my PC machines, and I was, as an engineer, everything I really used ran on PC. And so I ended up switching over to Mac, and I never looked back. And I think once you're kind of married to that ecosystem, it's just hard to switch out of it. Like just because of the integrations and across the ecosystem is so good. Do you like classical like classical as in like be more specific, like classic, like European, like medieval architecture, or like early American? I mean, I'm a fan of architecture in general. I think anything that is a visual representation of design, I can appreciate to some degree. Whether it matches my personal aesthetic is a different question. Like
I think we like to just take a look, walk around, take photo, but we not choose to live in like that style.
Yeah, no, for sure. Like if I could pick anywhere to live, it would be a concrete building, multi-level, modern or contemporary interior. Modernist simplicity, stripped down. Basic parts. I'm very much about functionality with minimalist design. Like I don't personally, from my personal aesthetic, and for Jib I think as well, we don't want ornamentation without function. Right? So we're both fans of like exterior mounted conduit for electrical as opposed to putting it inside a wall, or having access to like breaker panels and plumbing, and we would both rather have that exposed and made to look nice as opposed to build ornamentation around it to hide it.
Feel like thing that easy to fix and clean.
Yeah, essentially. So yeah. Craig says, I invented a keyboard in the 90s on the beach in Bangkok. It was called the flip phone flip flop. It folded into a phone and opened into an 8-inch micro thin keyboard for texting. It failed. Was it didn't Nokia have I think I had a Nokia phone that folded out into a double thumb keypad. Was it similar to that? I like classic architecture. and classic painting style. Modern art is blah to me. Classic architecture. I think she says down here. Oh,
Classic
like Roman or Egyptian.
Oh, I like to take a look.
Yeah, I like to look at it. I appreciate what it is, like the aqueduct structures of Rome, or the pyramids of Giza. Like obviously, very, very interesting technical architecture, or like Mayan or Aztec architecture for sure. I appreciate to look at it. I do not appreciate those aspects in my personal aesthetic, though. Like I wouldn't want to live in a house that had pillars in front for purely ornate purposes, like rounded, beveled pillars. Like I grew up in Rhode Island, where that type of thing was. People would add that to their house as like a common aesthetic. And again, it's just, if it's for them, that's great. Like if you love that style, go all in on it, right? Like do you. Like I don't want to judge someone else's aesthetic, but for me, that's not my aesthetic.
So you know what I like about art? There's no right and wrong.
Yeah.
It's just do what you like. Like
for sure.
You like, that's good. Like but for science, only one answer that's correct.
Yeah.
No matter what.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
it's like that's a different world.
That's the contrast for us with like our art and with our design. It's we like what we like. It's subjective.
Yeah.
Other people like it, and that's awesome to us. We love that. But for science, like data tells you one thing, and you have to try to disprove it. Like you're constantly trying to disprove. Whereas with art, it's subjective.
You can do what you like.
Yeah.
No right and wrong.
But yeah, I do love the. So I like impressionist paintings as well. I love art-wise from a painting perspective. Like I like Monet.
Oh yeah, I like Monet. Like
Dali. But I like modern art as well. There's some modern art that I really dig. And there's some that I don't, but that's okay. Like that's the thing. Like and again, like art is like what you take away from it too. Like your interpretation of it and how you interpret the influence and the application and the execution is really the interesting part of it. So to look at any art, as long as it makes me think or it evokes emotion in me, like I love that. Even like when we were at River City, looking at the polished stones, the cutaway minerals and crystals, like that evokes feeling and emotion, like how they inject the light into it, right? Which is a bit of sales trickery too, because
they have a price.
Like if you buy that $1 million baht crystal, right, and you just put it in your window, it's not going to look as good as it does with 7 spotlights shining in at different wavelengths. But yeah, no, I for me it's about the feeling and the meaning and the interpretation. And personally, I love when an artist puts work out there and doesn't really elaborate on their intended meaning. They put it out there for the public to interpret. And I think that's part of it. Like if you're some artists are very meticulous about documenting their intent or their meaning behind it, and some are not. Some want to leave it open. I like both. I mean, I love to be able to research art and see what people mean and what they say, but I also like to be able to look at something where the artist has not discussed it, or the artist did it and like they've passed and like you don't know, and you can look at it and say, okay, wow, this is representative of this. Like I was talking about when I did the video about Democracy Monument, and I talked about the architect who designed it, and then the artist who did the sculptings, who executed the sculptings, and what their intended meaning is documented, what they meant to intend. So with the 4 wings and the center shrine representing the Constitution, and then the very military sculpting on the stone depicting the coup and the Constitution, and there's some context there that's very interesting for the time. So exploring individual pieces to that depth I find really enjoyable. And
art for me, it's just like or dislike, beautiful or not for me. That's it.
So we enjoy it in different ways. I geek out about certain things. Same thing with buildings. Some architects design buildings to be very representative of something. And feng shui in Hong Kong is actually, in China in general, has played a big role in the way it shapes the cities.
Feng shui.
So not just the design of like an interior, but the way that buildings fit within the city is really played upon in the aesthetic of cities. And I think that's one of the really fascinating things to study. And I think it was Vox did Vox did a video about like Hong Kong specifically, but it plays out in Shanghai and Beijing as well. Guangzhou, Shenzhen, you can see that aesthetic. Once you start to understand the little parts of it from a design and aesthetic perspective, you start to see it pop up in the city landscapes in China.
You see it here too, but maybe you don't know
to some extent, but not across Bangkok as widely as you do in China.
No, not that much, but like some.
So do you remember when in Klong Toi when we looked at that building?
Which one?
The one that I said looked like Training Day.
Yeah.
So it was this. We went to look at this 6-story unit in Klong Toi because we lived not far from there at the time. And it was like that scene in Training Day where he's like, "Don't ever go in here without me." It was like straight up ghetto, like one way in, one way out, super dark. But there was a house at the end of the road, and they had the Chinese art on the balcony. And you were saying that was actually feng shui.
It has a mirror.
Yeah, but it had like a painting or something in front of it, But yeah, you said that was feng shui to protect like from bad spirits or something, bad muju. CSL Bosho. I went from PC to Mac back to PC. Really?
Can you?
Really? How long was that? How long was that transition? Oh, he didn't like the Mac ecosystem. Wow. So maybe I like ancient Rome. Yeah, we already read that. Gothic cathedral. So I love Gothic cathedrals. I think they're beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
When the word Gothic make me think about you have black hair, like, white face, and like a big eyeliner, the black. Is that Gothic also?
Yeah, goth style, but
different spelling.
Goth. No, say inspired by Gothic, but very different aesthetic. So I like Gothic cathedrals. I think they're beautiful. It's not an aesthetic that appeals to my personal taste, but it's an aesthetic that I can appreciate. I can appreciate from looking at it perspective. Like I can appreciate the art, the design, the craftsmanship that went into it. I wouldn't want to live in something with that much ornateness. Mike said, "Oh, midnight here. I'm bailing. Good night." Hey, Mike, have a good one, man. Mike's a very talented photographer. He's got I'll post up a link to his website. He has some of his photos up. He does automobile photography incredibly well. He's got this crazy light box. It's like a build. I showed you the light box, babe. It's insane the way it lights cars, and it's huge. It's like a building.
Looks like a alien aircraft.
Yeah, it could be something out of a sci-fi movie. It's amazing. But his photography is really fantastic. Lady Green's a PC person. Those big Thai architecture books for the coffee tables are awesome to look at. Yeah, I'll tell you, we've got a few books that are just like coffee table style architecture books that we look at for like design stuff. Like I have a lot of books that are essentially just design inspiration books. Like whether it's about clothing, I have a ton of books on vintage menswear that are amazing. Jib has a ton of books about just craft. Like you see like this whole bookshelf behind us. So the top, these two are like basically business books that I have. And then there's some of my old engineering books here. Everything else on these shelves is craft. Is knit, crochet, embroidery. There's some fashion. We have a huge fashion book down here somewhere. And then on the table.
Those shelves.
Oh, is it over there? No, but that big one I don't think fit on that shelf. I think it's over here somewhere. Yeah. So, and then we have another bookshelf back that way that's full of like my menswear books and like books about menswear and menswear design. And then over here, there's a bunch of random design books. So I have like tattoo flash books because I've been really looking at American traditional tattoo design. And Jib and I were talking for a while about doing something with like American traditional design aesthetic with embroidery. So that will wait until she finishes her capstone project before we start to sketch those design ideas. But we've been looking at understanding the fundamentals of American traditional design and how to apply that. And I think we could do some cool kind of small flash embroidery stuff like we talked about with that, and make some just like kind of cool art that could be interesting. But again, all with time. These things are a slow process. Jib's fingers can only, let me see your fingers, show your fingers.
Oh, it's healed.
No, it's all healed up now?
Yeah.
Just pushing the needle through all day, it tears up our fingers. But I think the traditional stitch methods, and Jib knows some Western embroidery as well. But yeah, just eats her fingers up. We'll do I will learn to knit soon. We'll make a video about knitting. And I know how to crochet. And you guys might know Jib's craft that she was originally in, that she started her business, is Knit by Jib. And you can actually find her YouTube channel. It's listed on my channel, which she will relaunch after she finishes her capstone for embroidery school. But I learned to crochet from Jib, and I made like a few crochet hats. But knitting has always been more challenging for me. So I said when Jib has time, when she wants to take a break from embroidery for a day, we'll go through the knit process, and I'll learn to knit and purl from her. And I'll probably start with a more robust yarn, not the thin stuff that you use. But we'll do that part of the process of learning a new craft, and we'll make a vlog about it, how to do it. So Craig's a triple fold wing to the side, large keys for normal fingers. That sounds interesting. I had a sidekick. Phone. I remember I think it was the Sidekick 2, and I hacked it so I could have I had a Samurai Champloo background and sound effects. Oh, Banksy's a great artist. And I appreciate a lot of Banksy's work in anyone with street art, like Alex Face is a famous Thai street artist. He does all those like Alex Face's art, right? All the Thai street art that has that big face, big eyes look with the.
Maybe I don't know the name, but I see art.
We've seen it before. We've gone and looked at some of his.
It's like 3 eyes thing.
Some of them where they always have like the hoodie on with the big head. So like some of that, one of the things I appreciate about like street arts like Banksy or Alex Face is the fact that art is put in a place that, obviously sometimes they take commissions and they do pieces for people or they sell it at auction. But if you're just putting it on the side of a building randomly, then it could be gone. Or if you put it on a wall, it could be gone. And I've seen there was a building that was scheduled to be destroyed in Bangkok, and a lot of street artists went out and actually did art around the interior of the building. And, I snuck in and looked at it for a while. There was only 3 stories that were left. It was over maybe by Sup Kwai. And it was, I think it was Sup Kwai. Or Sanam Pao. One of those, but it was years ago. But it was always interesting to see art that is put in a position to potentially be destroyed. And I've always thought it was brilliant how some artists essentially give up ownership of that art by putting it out into the public space and making it so it could be destroyed. It's so temporary. It's exposed to the elements and will change and weather over time in a way that a museum piece would not. Years ago, when I was doing my show with EFM in Malaysia, and I was traveling around everywhere, my producer, Emily, lived in Borneo, in Sabah. So we did a whole series of episodes from Sabah about the local Borneo businesses and stuff. And one of the people who I talked to was the founder of a street art collective in Borneo. And they actually would do art shows in KL, in Singapore, around Asia and China. But they would also take commissions to do big pieces on buildings. And the night after I did the interview with them, they took me out and showed me some of their work around Sabah in Kota Kinabalu. And it's beautiful work, but again, it's out there in the open, right? And will change and degrade and will eventually be gone. And that's part of the inspiration for doing it. So they were telling me about one piece they did that was commissioned on a multi-story building. Part of the contract was that it can never be touched up. So it's done, and when it's gone, it's gone. So if someone spray paints over it on the bottom, or there's a big storm and half of it washes away, that's part of it. It's a living piece, which I find really interesting and really inspiring to a large degree. Token, I had the LG NV, which was the LG version of the Sidekick. I remember that. It was also more gaming driven, wasn't it, Token? The LG, where I think it had like couldn't you play like cartridge games on it or something? The Sidekick was kind of crappy for gaming. There's like a couple like shitty games you could play on it. BKK has some great street artists in the Banksy vein. Yeah, absolutely. There's a bunch. There's one. Actually, I saw this. There's a street artist, Nietzsche, who's a Thai girl, who I saw her painting a piece on Soipai Singto one day. I was walking home, and she was out there just painting. Remember the hip hop one? Yeah, really, just cool stuff, and really unique. I like the functional art of artistic furniture that can used for a function, but when put away, it can be like an art piece. Yeah, that's really cool stuff as well. I've seen recently. I saw a chair that folds into a table and then folds out to a chair. I was looking at it on YouTube. So there's a fine line there to me. Like some of that furniture is that is transformative is one thing, and it might not be super functional, whereas some furniture that is very functional might not be very aesthetic, right? And there's the Mocha Museum of Contemporary Art in Bangkok. They have some furniture, some very artistic furniture, the benches in the place that are very nice to look at, not the most functional to sit on. And they have a couple of chairs that are very nice, very cool, very interesting the way that they use space, and you can sit on it, it's functional, but would I put it in, would it be useful in a house, not in a huge museum on a hallway that's wide open?
Well,
Probably.
If you have a big house, maybe
you'd have to have a house the size of that museum for it to really be proportionate. Yeah, I'm with you, Tom. Art as political voice, absolutely. Or, like art as, as cultural expression, like a modern cultural expression, definitely something that I appreciate. So, here's the PC Mac question. I went back to PC when the Surface tablet came out. I really like the hybrid form. Yeah, a lot of people dig that. I have a few friends who work exclusively on Surface. I've never used it. I've got an iPad Pro, and I can interact between that and my computer pretty well. And I remember my first couple iPads I liked. They were fun, but they didn't really. I had the first generation iPad. I got it on discount when the second generation iPad came out. And then I had the second generation iPad mini. Both served some function for me, but they weren't a real functional tool in the same way that the iPad Pro is. The iPad Pro really elevated itself to another level, in my opinion. But the M1 Macs are compelling. I can see myself going back. Yeah, the M1 Mac Mini is insane. I'm super happy with it. I have a friend who has the 13-inch M1 MacBook Pro. Ridiculous machine as well. Really just... They are more than the sum of their parts, I would say, from the perspective. I mean, you hear me talk about this all the time, but it does outperform its specs. Windows management, Windows 10 and touchscreens are too much to give up. Yeah, so obviously there's no touchscreen on my Mac Mini, but with my iPad there is. But yeah, there's nothing like the Surface, in my opinion, in the Mac ecosystem. Wi-Fi drops a lot on the Surface, quite a common issue. Oh, really? Mm-hmm. That seems strange to be in a device that would have a Wi-Fi issue. Wi-Fi cards can be really wow. In a device that's out for the public to have Wi-Fi issue. That's weird. Any of the Wi-Fi? Oh, no Wi-Fi issues. All right. Hey, Gator Jake, man, have a good night. Thanks for hanging. Do you think nature is the perfect blend of art and science? Oh, it's a good question, Jim. Nature's both, right? I think it's hard to call nature art more than it is to call nature beautiful, in my opinion. Nature is an expression of science, but nature isn't necessarily science. It's driven by the laws of science, but it's not science itself. Science is a verb, right? Science as a verb. Science is something you do, an action you take, whereas nature is something to be studied by scientists to show us how science works.
And you can see the art in it.
I think you can see the beauty in it. I don't know if you see art in it.
So, like, think about like when you see the flowers, see some like if you walk, see the trees.
It's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and you might see like something that looks like art piece or some part of that you can draw.
So I think you can represent nature in art, but I don't think nature itself is art. I think it's beautiful and inspiring, but I think art requires intent, and nature has no intent other than its own laws of nature, its laws of science.
Intent to survive.
That evolution, right? So
from natural selection. Is that count?
So again, I think art requires intent, Jim. And this is my interpretation, right? It's a discussion. I'm not even sure I 100% am sold on my own idea here. I'm working through the process with you and Jib and everyone else on the stream. But I don't think nature is art. I think nature is beautiful, and I think nature is inspirational, but I think art requires intent. And so I don't think nature has intent for that beauty. I think it just is. And I think we see beauty in it. And I don't think nature is science. I think nature is an expression of science, or something that we study with science. Oh, sorry if I'm giving people a headache. It's a complicated one, and so that's where I'm going to stand on it for now. We can revisit that later, but that's an interesting question. This one was my first hybrid. I loved the Dell, but felt like a change of pace. Yeah, I had Dells for a long time when I was a PC guy. Not really a Dell fan. You know, the kickstand is a game changer. Oh. Any of you guys sneakerheads? So, Lady Green, I'm a sneakerhead in the sense that I love my Nanyang sneakers, but that's about it. Glad to see you dried out. Hey, Paul, how's it going? Yeah, dried out since the rain walk. I'm an Adidas. 20 pairs of Adidas. Wow. All classics or modern ones, Token?
Oh, that's lots of shoes.
Bob Larson, hiking shoes for me. I do everything in my Nanyangs. I go to business meetings. I close $1 million deals. I wear them to walk around, and I go hiking in them. My Nanyangs do everything. I've worn the same type of shoe since junior high, Doc Martens. Wow. Oh.
It's
very
popular here.
Very heavy shoe. A little warm, I think, for Thailand.
But like that time, like when I was in high school, it's very popular.
How expensive are they? They must be crazy expensive.
Yes, yes, it was.
They're crazy expensive in the U.S.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
not like considered as like a affordable shoes there?
No, they're definitely not affordable.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no.
Ah, that's why it's very popular here because it's not easy to get. So like when you wear it, feel like look at you, it's like wow, you must have something.
Yeah, Alex Face, the three-eyed child in the rabbit suit, inspired by
Ah.
his daughter Marjorie. Yeah.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, he has a few other characters that look similar. Oh, is this delivery?
I don't know.
Oh, maybe it's my book finally here. We might get live delivery. Combat boots for Bob. Yeah, I remember my old army boots. I used to have the jungle boots. I thought those were the most comfortable. Can only wear like certain times a year though. OMB is still going. Good morning, Dana Jim. Hey man, how's it going? Stuck. How's things? How's Florida? We had a few other people from Florida. Oh, something's arrived. Looks like some package. Jib's inspecting it. Oh, it's definitely not a book. Oh, I think I know what it is. It's my I think it's my quick release clamps for the GoPro. Remember the Banksy auction where it sold at millions automatically? Yeah. It only half shredded, right? It didn't shred all the way down. I think did the shredder fail halfway down? Was that the thing? And I remember Banksy always says, well, if you put it in a gold frame, you can sell it for millions. Thank you, baby. I think I know what this is. Yeah, I think so. Only shredded halfway down. And yeah, it was his whole thing is you put it in a fancy gold frame, right? He likes to, it's basically him spoofing the art world, which I think is brilliant. I do. I love them. Craig. Yes, that was great. So we're talking about, Banksy, right? The street artist. He sold the painting, and after someone bought it, it shredded itself, but it only shredded like halfway. Yeah, I'll tell you what, when it shredded itself, this is the crazy thing about the art world. It probably made it worth way more money. There was a guy who tried to steal some Banksy street installment and sell it as his own. He can't remember what happened. Really, so he tried to say he made it, even though it was a Banksy work. That's pretty ballsy. Bob, I have some combat boots that was made in U.S. by American Tire Company. I think they got a contract from the U.S. government. I think Michelin used to make soles for American combat boots. When I was in the Army, you would usually get like your issue boots, which were horrible. And as soon as you could, you would swap out to like an upgraded boot. Or like I said, I wore the jungle boots. I really liked them because they were like they're half canvas and they were a little bit more breathable. A lot of the guys, if you go to airborne school, will wear the Cochranes, the jump boots. But those are, one, they're incredibly stiff leather, and two, they're very hot. So if you're airborne and you're in like Fort Bragg, North Carolina, not the most comfortable boot to wear. Yeah, I do have Procreate. I love Procreate. It's an awesome tool. Classically, nature is an art because mimesis is important defining aspect of art. Mimesis. What am I misreading this? M-I-M-E-S-E. I like to walk in nature, see mathematical patterns. So the Fibonacci sequence is one of those things that's really interesting in nature. It pops up a lot. And actually, in traditional Thai art, Fibonacci sequence shows up a lot in those Thai designs, classic Thai designs. One of Graham's senior students at Chula actually wrote a paper about the presence of Fibonacci in traditional Thai design. The old Greeks, at least. Lady Green, sweet. The U.S. made ones were very well thought out design, a lot of replicas in the market. That's why I won't look. Nowadays, people think of art as anything beautiful or meaningful. Well, I think it doesn't necessarily have to be beautiful, right? But intent and meaning is important in art. And so if you're missing intent, you're missing meaning, I'm not sure that I don't want to judge anyone else's art, but I think intent is important. So taking intent is an important part of it. I tried to go into digital arts, but still prefer to use my pencil. They both have their own, they're different tools for different jobs, right? It's very difficult to create a digital logo with a pencil, right? And it's very difficult to create a textured sketch with the digital tool. Easier now with some of the tools, but they're both different. Both have their own place. Stuck says science, the intellectual and practical activity encompassing the systematic study of structure and behavior of the physical and natural world through observation and experiment. Yes. Absolutely. I use the fibs as a tool in trading. Sometimes it's useful. Okay. Really? In trading? Fibonacci sequence in trading. Bob, my dad bought the whole lot of them from the army when they had a sale back in the day. Nanyang. Nanyang's a Thai shoe brand, Bob. Nanyang, you can get them from Lazada. They make it's a canvas shoe with a shell toe, similar to a Converse, but it has a natural rubber sole. It's much heavier. And it's a wider foot, much more comfortable in my opinion for my fat feet. And they're only 350 baht for my size. So great deal. Whereas Converse, if you buy Converse in Thailand, like 3,800. So a bit of a difference. 10x. Do you have any bespoke shoes of pieces? I do have. So I've designed my own Nanyangs. You can see some of them back here. The blue ones were the first ones I ever dyed. And then these purple ones were a recent pair I did. I've actually got a pair that I'm going to give to Chris that we're trying to coordinate something with Nanyang, but they're being finicky to get it to work. But yeah, so I've designed a few pairs myself, and I actually have some leather shoes as this jib that were custom made for us, but I don't wear leather shoes anymore because I don't wear dress shoes. But yeah, I did have some shoes custom made by a leather craftsman in Thailand back when I still wore dress shoes, but now I've evolved to my final form beyond dress shoes. They're about $100 in the U.S. Doc Martens, I think they're made in Thailand. Doc Martens are made in Thailand now. Wow. I know that they have the British-made ones, and they sell different from the others. I think there used to be Doc Martens store in BKK in the early 2000s. Probably in Paragon, right? It'd be positioned as a premium brand. Later on, I think the modern ones are those I mentioned, like 100% waterproof, made with several layers of material, yet keep your feet dry after hours of wearing. Oh, nice. So you don't sweat in them? Oh, there's in Mega, really?
Mega Bangna. Oh.
Frank would know. He goes down there. He gets some walking steps in down there. Actually, Tick, his wife, she has a pair of Docs from the U.S. She has a cool studded pair. I'll tell you, when I saw her pair, they're quite nice constructed, like interior, like nice leather, really good. You can get UK made Docs, but they cost a little more. I think more than a little more, right? Yeah, agreed, Token. I use the Fibonacci. Really? So you guys are using the Fibonacci sequence and you're trading? Huh.
Oh.
Interesting. I'm gonna have to do some. I want. If you guys have some links you can send me so I could read about it. I'd be really interested to. This is a representation or reproduction of nature or something natural. Okay. Thank you, Bosa. Mimes. I'll look into that a bit more.
You don't know the word mimics?
No.
It's like, actually, think about snakes. It's like the one with venom.
Okay.
So other snake, no venom, but it's look alike that snake.
Oh,
it's
mimic.
Not this one?
I don't think so. Most of those sneakers mostly used by airsoft community here, but they're generally genuine ones. I can't tell. Huh. The pair I have must be 30 years old. Oh, the pair of combat boots. You're looking to Nanyang sound. Yeah, so the name sounds Chinese. I think the name is actually a Chinese word, but it's a Thai company, Nanyang. Their office is down in Samyat. Samyat?
สี่พระยา
The office is not Samyat?
สี่พระยา
Okay,
it's สี่พระยา junction but it's not far from สามย่าน
So I've been there to the office. I get to see their little interior museum. Mimic. Yeah, but that's not what he wrote.
นี่
Yeah, that's mimic. Right, but that's not the word he wrote here. M-I-M-E-S-S. Do you have the classic shoe? And do you wear the classic shoe in the army? When I was in the army, I wore just the classic combat boot. I was in the early 2000s. We had the black combat boot. Yes, Nanyang, Nanyang. Huh. Can you just say that? Yeah, Nanyang, Nanyang. I don't have a box here. But yeah, just Nanyang. That's how it's spelled. If you Google it, they have their own shop on Lazada, Bob, if you check it out on Lazada. I think their website is nanyang.com or nanyang.co.th. Nanyang.co.th is their website. So there's 3 or 4 companies in Thailand called Nanyang.
there's a textile
Yeah, a textile company. There's a few other things, but they're obviously not related. Oddly enough, not related. I think it was Aristotle who defined Memis as a defining character of art. Okay. We shall dive into it. You should design a shoe or sneaker with a changeable sole so you can go from hiking to streetwear by changing the sole. It's kind of an important contact point, though, right? So that'd be interesting design problem, but like usually with a modern sneaker, the sole is glued or stitched on. I think the closest thing would be like a men's leather boot, right? Or like a leather shoe with a leather sole, and then you can glue different bottoms to the sole and change the heel. But it's quite involved. So that'd be an interesting design problem to look at, like how you could change the sole. But I wear the Nanyangs to hike. I think the sole holds up great.
wear
Not like just like out walking or hiking. Like you could wear the Nanyang. In Malaysia, they have a shoe made of rubber. It's just like a rubber version of Crocs that they make in Malaysia that the porters on Mount Kinabalu wear. Tix docs are from the shop at... Oh, they're from the shop at Mega. Ah. Yeah, a Memis is greater than Mimic. Got a bail heading to... oh, nice. Heading to Napa. Lots of alcohol tomorrow. Cheers. Enjoy. I've worn these before. It was issued when drafted. Nice. I think with that, we've been on almost 3 hours, guys. I think we're going to wrap it up. My feet are going numb from sitting too long. I think Jib probably wants to have lunch. Mai? Getting cow? All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up. Grab some lunch. That's why I overlooked. Chinese. Not Chinese. They're definitely Thai. Definitely check them out, Bob. Great, in my opinion, greatest shoe available in the world. For sure. Yeah, so we're going to wrap it up, guys. It's been 3 hours. We're going to grab some lunch, relax. Oh, no, I got to make, I'm making cured egg yolks today. So I'm starting for Jib to make some cured egg yolks that she can use with her pasta and stuff. We did some dried brine steaks yesterday for Jib and Jam, but I maybe overdid the salt on the dry brine. But it was still good, Mai?
good but a bit salty
A bit salty. Not too salty. All right, guys. Thanks again for rocking with us. We appreciate all of you. We'll have another live stream on Wednesday again. And then still working on the Durian video edit. That will be out soon. Until next time, keep taking action. Make your ideas reality.